Namaste! It's 420!
Oh, right.
Stay away from downtown!
Nintendo Labo comes out today.
Yeah!
Oh, right.
Also,
it's that other
insufferable
thing.
hippies!
Hippies who are going to buy Nintendo Labo and play with cardboard and learn how to code. Well, hi.
Oh, I hope so. That would be the best.
I can't wait to see the videos tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be the best, but I think what it's actually going to be is, like, people, like, in, like, insufferable bongo circles going till, like, 11 p.m. and, like, check out this sick jam. This is totally the bridge from, like, Sgt. Pepper. It's like, no, it's not. You're just fucking running a bongo. So that's happening today, and because it's so beautiful and it's 420, we're playing the Arcana, a game about tarot cards. Ooh. And that's all I know about it, but it's very magical.
I forgot what game we were playing, so now I know more about what we're doing.
Yeah, we're playing a mobile game called the Arcana. If you want to take us into our probably right corner, I guess. Look at that.
Looks good.
What are
that's pretty cool.
What are our name and pronouns?
I have not seen that in a dating game yet.
No. Okay, so last time I was playing with Corey. God, what was the name of that game? Hustle Cat. I was like, you know what I haven't done yet on this stream? I've been in a lot of boy-girl relationships.
Those are very common within dating games.
Yeah, I would say it's almost an inescapable trope. But you could choose your name and your pronouns and name and stuff like that in Hustle Cat. Or no, you couldn't choose your name, but you could choose your pronouns and gender expression and stuff. And I was like, we've done a lot of girl-on-girl action because we did Lady Killer to Bind. Still the best game we've played on the stream, by the way, by sort of a large margin. But we haven't done any boy-on-boy romance yet.
But boy-on-boy romance is so good.
I know! So that's what I'm trying. So do you want to try to see if we can pick up some hot boys?
Yeah.
To smooch another boy?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're a
Let's
he
make
him.
boys smooch.
What's our name here?
Yes, you have Dream Daddy. Oh, right, Dream Daddy. We did like one stream of Dream Daddy.
Right. That was so long ago.
Dream Daddy. That's dad on dad. Daddies aren't boys. Yeah, daddies are daddies.
Dad is its own gender.
I mean, if you listen to Dream Daddy, it's true. Kenny. This game, well, it's on iOS and Android, or as we're playing it, iPad.
Elliot.
Oh, that's a nice name. That's how to spell that.
Yep.
I think there's some school where you can spell it with 2 T's as well, which is just too many letters.
I mean, I think you can spell a name whatever way you want. It's just depending how convoluted you want to make it is how awful you want to make school for your child.
Yeah. Yeah. Confirm. And we can change that at any time if we decide that we want to.
Oh, that's good.
If we want to change our kind of thing.
I do like it when games let you do that.
Yeah. So, I don't know how to unlock the whole game. There's the store where you can buy coins and keys. There's a spin thing. But let's just start the story and figure out what the hell is even going on here.
Yeah, that's fair. Ooh, a card.
Yusuke! I am a student of the magical arts. My master is Asra, the fortune teller. I know nothing of his past. As for the present, I'll miss you. It is the dead of a moonless night. Ooh. Yusuke was the emperor? Oh, sorry, Yosuke. That's the magician in Persona 4. I misspoke. The right time for the beginning of a journey, according to him. Here, take this. Free to play around with while I'm gone. A gift! This can't be good. My tarot deck.
What? No, you're not supposed to use other people's tarots.
You think I'm ready, Master? You're still calling me that? You know I can't answer that for you. You've made incredible progress, but you still won't let go of your doubt. Do you think you're ready?
I've had teachers like that. That's annoying.
Yeah. Why don't you ever answer my questions? F you, that's annoying. I Why don't you ever answer my questions? I don't? Well, I may not have all the answers you seek, but the cards do, if you know how to use them. And you do know how to use them, whether you believe it or not.
Ah, so you just did answer my question. Got you.
Master Asra has that look in his eye as he pulls back the curtain leading to the back room. This is a very pretty game. Let's see how well you've learned. Tutorial time! I know I have to go on this journey, but you know what? Let's just make sure that you got the game mechanics first.
We haven't practiced because we're either perfect or because somebody's not around to help us.
Because you're always gone? Maybe. Someday you'll find a real teacher. Well, I'm here now. Let's see how powerful you've become. He's always going on about how powerful and gifted I am and how oily my muscles are.
Yeah. It was weird when that came up in the interview for being a student.
Yeah. Oh, something brushes along my ankle, smooth and cool. We're not alone. Is it a snake? Snake friend!
It is a snake.
It is a snake! The serpent is Faust. Asra's familiar. She's pleased to see me, I think. If we're all here, let's begin. I shuffle the deck. His gaze follows the cards as they slip through my fingers.
Ooh.
Oh, so beautiful.
These are cool.
The High Priestess. It's an owl!
Game's got my number.
And what is she telling you? He leans close, expectant. She's speaking to you now? When the cards speak to me, it isn't in any human tongue. Nonetheless, when my mind is clear, the answer comes to me.
Well, no, they're pictures.
You've forsaken her. I have. Yes, you've pushed her away and buried her voice. She calls out to you, but you won't listen. Master, if you don't listen to her... A sharp knocking startles all three of us. Our customer? Did you forget to pull out the lantern again? Just as well. I can't stay any longer. Well then, take care of yourself. He still has something to say, but he won't say it. Until we meet again. What a great hat.
Although I don't know if it actually goes with his outfit. The feather does, but I think the hat is... I think a brown would be better rather than a black. Because the brown would then match the strap of his satchel and go better with the sort of the jewel tones in his overcoat. He parts the curtain soundlessly and slips out the back door. And just like that, he's gone again.
Chapter 2. Not a tutorial.
I was told black goes with everything. I mean, it does.
It does, but there's a reason you don't wear a brown belt and black shoes. If you're doing matching, you wear black shoes, black belt, or brown shoes, brown belt. As far as I understand how guys get dressed, I mean, I don't care. I wear sneakers.
Ooh, a customer at this hour and an impatient one by the sound of it. Let's look into the peephole, shall we?
I lock the doors an option just right away.
I press my face to the peephole and peer out into the dark. A mysterious figure is standing in the glow of the lantern outside. Their graceful hands are twisting together anxiously as they wait. Even in the dim light, I spy jewels glittering along their fingers. Alright. I open the door.
Do you want to read this one?
Oh, forgive me for the hour, but...
The figure steps inside and begins to unwind the shawl from their neck.
I will not suffer another sleepless night. Please, you must read the cards for me.
The elegant cloth slips away, revealing the visitor's face. At the sight of her, my heart leaps into my throat.
It has to be you.
Oh my god. This game is gorgeous. The Countess. Well, if it has to be you, I think you've come to the right place, because this is where I am. You've come to the right place!
So I'm told. Your reputation precedes you. Beggars and nobles alike. The people of the city whisper your name in wonder. Though in my dream you were... different.
Oh, sorry, 1 second. I think we've missed a bunch of subs and bits. Yep. Sorry. CJ has subscribed for 6 months in a row. Ah, yes. Time to kiss all the boys and girls. We need some snazzy anime intro video for Now Kiss. We're working on it.
Ooh, yeah.
Hail the RNG is cheered with 420 bits. 420 blaze it. Only if you want to. Contiguous Kitty Cat subscribed for 40 months in a row. Hey, Kathleen and Hodor, I thank this stream for giving me the courage and desire to actually be in a relationship. It's going pretty well, and I'm pretty happy. Oh, that's awesome. Good job. Kavenna has subscribed for 19 months in a row, saying that may the kisses be plentiful on this blessed day. OG has subscribed for 17 months in a row. Epi Wassam has subscribed for 9 months in a row, saying the cards tell me sub baby. And Ferocious Peach has subscribed for 17 months in a row.
No matter. I come with a proposal.
Proposal?
Not very talkative, are you? Nervous, perhaps? You needn't be. I require very little of you. Be my guest at the palace for a short while. You'll be afforded every luxury, of course, and hopefully many cute boys.
Yeah.
It is as my dreams foretold. I ask only that you bring your skill and the Arcana.
Arcana? Where have I heard that before?
It's your card deck, probably.
Storm Summoner has subscribed for 22 months in a row, and Dark Morford is cheered with 200 bits, saying, 200 bits, it's my birthday, but I'm giving you a gift. Well, yay for 34 trips around the sun. Congratulations, Dark Morford. Happy birthday. And Stormy Sky has cheered with 420 bits. Pew, 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 pew. Go listen to, like, some late period Beatles, I guess. I'm at a loss or I'm at your service? I feel like I'm at a loss. I want, like, what...
Yeah, I mean, in this situation, I'd just be confused.
I gotta watch my store. My boss just fucked off again. I'm at a loss, Countess. She gives me a patient look.
The Arcana? The cards you haven't heard their true names? You read them well, but I wonder if you truly know them. Show me, magician. I wish to judge you with my own eyes.
Ooh.
Those rumored talents of yours. Read these cards and I will stare at you a lot and make judgments.
Under her imperious gaze, I ushered her to the humble back room. The Countess seats herself across from me. Her gaze darts around a small space before falling on the cards on the table between us.
Go on.
As I shuffle the deck, she folds her hands before her and closes her eyes. Alright. Which one?
Left.
Left top or left bottom?
Left top.
Pyromorph is cheered with 200 bits,
Oh, fucks.
saying it's Dark Morford's birthday and Lura's getting a present. Happy birthday, DM. And Rio Pezio is cheered with 180 bits, saying 180 reasons. The Magician.
Oh, how very appropriate.
She peers down at the card, studying its face.
And what does he hold for me?
My mind is clear. The answer comes to me as easily as ever. You have a plan.
Go on.
One that's long in the making, years upon years. Now you seek to set it in motion.
And? Should I move?
Her eyes pierce me, flashing brilliantly in the lamplight. Yes. Act now. Everything has fallen into place.
Say no more.
Abruptly, she stands, giving the card one last glance. I am barely on my feet when she throws back the curtain, striding purposefully back into the shop proper.
Your fortunes are simple, much the same as the others I've heard. And yet, you are the first to pique my interest.
By the time I've emerged, the Countess is at the doorway, winding the shawl around her face.
Ahem.
I nearly trip over my feet in my haste to open the door. The Countess merely looks amused.
Well, until tomorrow then. Pleasant dreams.
With that, she glides past me and out into the night. For a moment, I'm frozen, staring after her figure long after it has vanished into the mist. What could the Countess want with me, a mere apprentice?
Like, the chat's just like, kiss all the cards.
And talk of my reputation. Could it be that she mistook me for
Strange hours for a shop to keep.
Oh my goodness. Who said that? My gaze darts around the shop, chasing shadows in the dark.
Behind you.
Sure enough, when I turn, I see a figure looming against the door.
Now, sources say this is the witch's lair? So who might you be?
My heart starts racing as the masked intruder advances. Whoa, do you see that countdown?
You did not have a ton of time to make that decision.
That's great. Who's asking? I managed to spit something out. It's enough to give them pause.
I'm asking. I'd rather not do it again. But if it'll make you talk.
The squeal of leather makes me wince as the stranger reaches for their mask and tosses it to the floor. Ah, how dreamy.
Well, I can tell by the look on your face. Shock, horror, you know who I am, don't you?
Yeah, smooch target number 1. Look at that eye patch. So manly.
So chuny.
To my surprise, I do know him.
Oh, well that's... I guess I'm
surprised. Oh no, he's hot, says continuous kitty cat. This man, they used to call him...
Dr. Jules? Oh wait, I think that's you.
Dr. Jules?
Haven't heard that name in years. Quickly now, where is the witch?
I'll never talk.
And here I thought we could keep things civil. Well, if you won't tell me where he is...
He towers over me, chilling the air around us.
Won't you at least tell me my fortune?
How is fortune telling okay, but being a witch not?
Witches do... magic.
Huh?
That is what the room in the back is for, isn't it?
God, look at that fucking Bishi hair. It's so all over the place. I remember drawing hair like that, definitely, when I was in high school. Very dramatic. Very curly. How much hair must that person have?
Quite a bit.
In real life, they look like a mad scientist with that much poofy hair.
I mean, his hair right here looks like a big leaf.
Yeah. Chaotic Observer has subscribed for 8 months in a row. I give a hesitant nod, unsure of his motives for his odd request.
After you, then?
The doctor drops himself into the reading chair, looming fearlessly over the table. What store is busy at 3 a.m?
The fortune teller's shop where people with eye patches show up, I guess.
Yeah.
Lovely decor. Reminds me of the good old days.
How are you some sort of...
I am super old somehow. Like maybe 300 and probably a vampire.
Great. Extra smooching. Hesitantly, I take my seat, cold eyes tracking my every move.
Go on. No need to be shy.
Do you want to try the bottom now?
Yeah. Ah.
Yep, death. As soon as the card is flipped, my mind starts racing.
I'm not convinced that it matters what card you pick, given how the story's written.
Mm-hmm. We are Magic 7-Eleven. Says Night Valiant. Nothing comes to me but the pounding of blood in my ears. Death.
Death? Death?
He barks with uncontrollable laughter, sharp as ice.
You've got to be joking.
I jolt as his hands strike the table and he rises to his feet.
Death cast her gaze on this wretch and turned away. She has no interest in an abomination like me. Probably a vampire.
What, you got like a third nipple or something, buddy? Cool it, it's okay.
I have a demon eye that my eye patch must never let out. If I take this eye patch off, the world will end.
Overcome with confusion, I follow the doctor's heels. People are Phoenix Mailer. Death is indeed just for change. Moving on. It's true, yeah. Yeah. Death is the edgelords of cards. It's just about change. Yep. Overcome with confusion, I follow the doctor's heels.
You've been hospitable, so I'll let you in on a secret. Your witch friend will be back for you. He's taught you his tricks. You may even say that he cares for you. Ooh! But when he returns...
He lifts his mask from the floor, staring into its glassy red eyes.
Seek me out for your own sake. That creature is far more dangerous than you know. Well then, the hour is late and I'm out of time.
After giving me a long, hard look, the doctor fixes his mask in place.
Don't let him fool you, shopkeep.
The door slams behind him as he disappears into the early morning fog. What the fuck is happening?
I don't know.
This guy's so edgy, but I love him. I know. Is anybody actually paying for this fortune telling? Who knows?
I don't think either of these people have given us money.
No. My name is Elliot. I'm a student of the magical arts, and today I will journey to the palace to meet the Countess. I spend the early hours preparing my things by lamplight, casting wild shadows on the walls. Seeking a moment's rest, I go to the back room to lie down.
Pagan Pilgrim has resubscribed for the second month in a row. Persona 6 already?
God, I wish. And slip away, lost in a dream. Persona 6, I'm gonna... 2025.
Oh, at least.
Oh, when Persona 6 comes out, I'll be able to play it with Penelope.
By the time Persona 6 comes out, Persona 5 will probably be on a platform I can play it on.
I mean, you can play it here on our PS4, but it's so long.
I'd have to do that in between when everyone's streaming.
I know.
That's not fun.
No. Somebody emailed and said we'd be doing, like, would we do, like, a Persona 5, like, Let's Play or something like that. And it could be fun, but when would we do it? Aside from, like, between the hours of 9 p.m. and midnight.
Just the idea of for work actually messes with my brain because I have so much of it to do.
Yeah. Stark to Crater Ratio subscribed for 16 months in a row, saying 16 months of crate magic, here's to many more. The sky is no more than a slim green line along the endless horizon. Beside me is Asra, on the back of a strange beast. Master, where are we? In a dream. Dark clouds bear down all around the landscape, a shifting sea of rust-colored sand. Ahead is a road of perfect black stone. I dare not tell you.
Oh wow, he got a better feather.
No, that's the
Wait,
same
was
feather.
it there? I
Yeah.
looked at the tiny feather and didn't notice the large feather somehow.
And if I did, you'd have to promise me never to seek this path. Not even I am such a hypocrite as that, Elliot. I'm sure I've never walked this road, and yet the sight of it feels like an old nightmare. This person didn't mean an adjective they didn't like. I strain to see where it leads, but the path keeps changing. Soon there will be a crossroads. Crossroads? Where do they lead? Depends which one you take. Now rest. My sleep is dreamless then. When I wake, early dawn light is filtering through the dusty windows. I throw on a traveling cloak and hurry outside, dragging the heavy door shut behind me. After last night's intrusion, I turn the first lock, and then the second lock, and third. Almost satisfied, I press my right hand to the door and whisper a cross-me-not spell. The wood lights up beneath my palm in a pattern of Asra's intricate designs. White whorls glow deep within the door, slowly fading into the grain. The shop will be well. All will be well. I pull my shawl tighter and step out into the foggy street. The morning mist is thick, yet to be scattered by the heat of day. It blankets the street in an ethereal, milky glow. I take a moment to appreciate the tranquil scene, when all at once, the hair at the nape of my neck rises in alarm. Someone is near. Someone is right beside me. I turn towards the eerie sensation and notice a dark shape looming in the alley. At first, I don't realize that I'm looking at a human. The form is certainly human, though monstrous in size. Look at the size of that lad. Absolute unit. Beefcake. Their flesh is scored with scars, clean and jagged, shallow and deep. Shrouded in a pall of weather-beaten furs, it's hard to make out a face. They are definitely watching me. No, waiting for me to come out? They stand between me and the path I have to take.
Well, go back inside. Oh, that's not an option.
Hey, you're in my way. Move! Stormy green eyes meet mine, unblinking. Then the hulking figure slides to the left, clear of my path. I hear the rattle of weighty chains swinging ominously beneath their robes. The sound chills me, but I square my shoulders and march forward.
It's like trying to get off the bus.
Just when I'm about to pass the massive shadow, a heavy hand lands on my shoulder and I freeze. He will return. Uninvited. A voice like thunder growls from behind me.
I mean, that could be anyone. We run a shop.
He will offer you an escape when you need it most. Turn it away or you will fall into his hand. Just like the rest of us. The hand releases me, but I'm frozen, processing what I just heard. There is shuffling behind me, the dragging of rough cloth and chains. And then silence. I have to go, now. Exhaling deeply, I continue towards the narrow, mossy steps that lead me towards the marketplace. Wood groans beneath my feet as I step carefully onto the walkway. Daylight seeps through the gaps between the worn planks, shimmering on the water that flows beneath. It's early yet, and the marketplace is already wide awake. All around me are the sounds of bartering laughter and vendors hawking their wares. A voice I know well calls out to me over the sea of noise. Elliot! Have you eaten? Actually, you should take this one.
I've got that pumpkin loaf you like in the oven. Won't be long now. Come, sit down. Talk for a while.
I sniff the air in impulse and my stomach twists in hunger. Then again, I should probably be careful of the time. The baker's son's speckled face lights up with a broad smile. He leads me to the booth and a warm, spicy scent surrounds me.
I wanted to date Baker, but he doesn't have an image, so
He's
I
just a minor
suspect he is
tarot.
not going to be date option.
As I settle against the back wall, he offers me a steaming tin cup and places his hands on his hips.
And where is Asra sleeping in?
I sip my drink, a hot, minty brew. He's on a journey.
And where's he off to this time?
The baker gives me an odd look.
He didn't tell you? How suspicious. You're telling me that rascal is keeping secrets from his prized pupil?
The words are in jest, but they prod at something within me that compels me to answer. It's not like that. Eyebrows raised, the baker gives me his full attention. He was acting strange.
And what's new about that?
I look down at my cup, watching the steam curl and twist as it rises. I don't want to say that I'm worried, because saying that will only make it true. The vendor frowns, folding his arms over his chest.
So he's off to some mysterious journey?
Oh, there's no on-screen feedback of what options I'm picking.
Huh.
Okay. But what of your mysterious... Oh, sorry.
But what of your mysterious journey, if I may ask?
Shaken from my reverie, I blink up at him, startled. By the look in his eye, the baker already has an idea of where I'm heading today.
They've been whispers all morning, you know.
How do these fucking bakers know shit?
We get up super early.
Yeah.
They say the Countess's escort rode into the neighborhood around dawn. Word is she's wandering out like a lost lamb till she found your door. We also stay up like all night, probably baking.
Yeah. Burning with curiosity, he waits with rapt attention for me to explain. But I keep my silence, downing my drink. In a town like this, gossip spreads too quickly. How's that bread coming along? With a shake of his head, the baker goes to the small wood stove to check.
They're all wrapped up for the road.
I place a coin on the table and hand off my empty cup.
Now run along. Don't keep the Countess waiting.
I give a backwards wave and head out into the flow of traffic. Up ahead is a narrow stairwell where the masses and their animals are tightly packed. As I climb the well-worn steps, something catches my eye. A fortune teller's booth tucked away in a shady corner. Silver moons adorn the tapestries draped over the entrance, shrouding it in secrecy. The sight teases a smile out of me. How nostalgic! When we met, Asra was operating out of a place just like it. As I'm lost in my musings, a patron emerges from the booth, caught up in conversation. I give a wide berth and keep my head down. Oh, before I forget, what are my lucky numbers today? 3, 6, 7, 9. Got it. 3, 6, 7, 9. 3, 6, 7, 9. I don't notice them backing into me until we crash into each other. Ah! The impact makes me stumble, teetering on the edge of a step. It also upsets the basket balanced on the stranger's hip, which sends a dozen pomegranates rolling down the stairs. Oh, perfect. As if I wasn't already late. Help or start drama?
Start drama.
No.
Well, then help.
All right. Start drama?
I just want to see what it does. Like, help is clearly, oh, I will do whatever. Starting drama seems like an option that most games don't ever give me.
That's a fair read. No, help the hot lady. Meg from the Disney Hercules movie. Drama. What's
100%,
there's no saves.
if there's any kind of thing going on where it's keeping track of whether or not you're making points with people in order to smooch them, helping her is going to help you smooch her.
Watch where you're going. Having dropped to their knees to hunt for runaway fruit, the stranger glances up at me, blinking. Are you talking to me? You're the one who walked right into me, so yes. They roll their eyes, returning to the task at hand. Well, excuse me.
Princess.
What do you want me to do about it? Apologize. A sharp glare. They rise to their feet, folding their arms across their chest. Or what? A few passerbys send furtive glances our way as we stare each other down. Sweat creeps up my back. The more eyes I feel on me, the more agitated I become. Catgut your tongue? Forget it, I don't have time for this. As they stomp past me, they make sure to bump my shoulder. I watch their bouncing copper-colored head blend into the throng and exhale shakily. This crowd has me on edge. I really do hate traveling alone.
That was Portia, you know.
Portia?
Portia?
Portia, I think.
That was
we
Porty.
That was Porty.
I'm naming her Porty now.
A rattling cough draws my attention. The fortune teller has moved to stand at the entrance of the booth and is eyeing me with avid interest.
She's the Countess's favorite servant, that is.
Oh, good.
As for you, you look like a wanderer, yes? Wouldn't you like to hear what fortune the fates have spun for you?
Sure, tell me my fortune.
All right. Oh, wait, that's you.
Yeah. The fortune teller claps their wizened hands and leads me into the small booth. Inside, the air is thick with amber and patchouli.
Your name?
Elliot.
Elliot, huh?
They mutter as their fingers dance over the surface of a crystal ball nestled in a bed of sand.
Wait, Elliot?
The fortune teller slowly slides their gaze up to meet mine.
Not Asphras Elliot.
I give them a flat look.
Ah, so the stories are true. You're just as they say. Let us see what fates can make of you.
They nearly press their nose to the crystal, going cross-eyed. A vicious grin spreads across their painted lips.
I see fire, a dark place engulfed in flames. Despair, darkness, and blazing destruction.
They tap their fingers across the surface rapidly and pull back with a cackle.
You will be toppled from your high tower. Your cries for help will fall on joyous ears.
Holy shit.
You will fall and be alone for all eternity.
I drop a coin on the table and rise to my feet. Prophetic threats are spat at my back all the way out of the booth. I pause in a stare, glancing back at the passionate fortune teller. Alone for all eternity. Sounds like a dream. It's a shame you're a fraud. Whipping my cloak behind me, I ascend the stairs.
Wait, it's a shame you're a fraud because you want those things? Oh, wait, no, you did.
Yeah.
You did want that.
As the sun journeys across the sky, I climb stair after seemingly infinite stair. The higher I ascend, the fewer travelers I encounter along the way. By the time I reach the top of the stairs, I can barely walk. Thankfully, it's near dark. I wipe the pouring sweat from my sun-beaten brow and look ahead. Before me is a towering gate of twisted iron. Beyond that, I can see the palace closer than ever before. The sight of it makes it hard to catch my breath. It's much more enchanting up close than it is from the city below. Who goes there? A guard stands on either side of the gate, I notice. They are so still I had mistaken them for designs in the metal. My name is Elliot. I have come at the request of the Countess. Elliot. They share a look. We have no knowledge of you. Unless you know the code, you must leave at once. Did she say anything about a code?
She didn't.
Code? One guard folds their hands over the hilt of a planted sword. Yes,
A series of 4 numbers.
Oh, this will be the lucky numbers.
If you do not know them, leave. We are not above violence or torture. Anything for the Countess. Oh, I know the code. Proceed. I eye their heavy swords and swallow audibly, but I think I do know the code. Asper often tells me that when something catches your attention, there's a reason. If it feels like it has special significance, it does. The numbers are probably
the second one.
3679. Right guard. The guards step back, each swinging open one of the massive doors. Proceed. I nod, keeping my composure, even as a thrill goes down my spine. Without hesitation, I walk past them and onto the bridge. The palace is right before me. I hear the gates slam shut, and there is no turning back.
It's weird that the Countess's favorite servant who lives at this castle ends up having the lucky numbers of what is the code today.
Mm-hmm. As the sun drops below the horizon, the palace is illuminated with gold. The geometry of the structure is perfect. Its towers seem to stretch to the stars. Escorting me is Portia, the Countess's servant. Thankfully, she arrived at the gates just after I did. Had she not appeared, I would have been alone as I faced the looming palace. My gaze trails down the alabaster bridge to the swirling waters below. There's something down there. Corkscrewing through the muck, it glows like some kind of bloodless ghost. All ghosts are bloodless. There's a lot of adjectives in this text.
You're right. All ghosts are bloodless. That's a weird thing to say about a ghost. What kind of ghosts normally exist filled with blood? I don't want to run into blood ghosts. That sounds way more terrifying than bloodless ghosts.
Yeah. Have I been misinformed as to the nature of ghosts all this time? Are most people afraid of ghosts because they just like explode like a
weird water balloon filled with blood?
Or some sort of like ghoulish piñata? It's just like boom.
I mean, I understand it more now. I would totally be terrified of that. That sounds awful.
Yeah, no, okay, I get why people are
especially because in a lot of like horror movies, the very pure innocent person walks around in white.
Yeah.
And you'll never get that out.
No. All right, now I know why people are scared of ghosts. Every time I'm like, ghosts aren't real, I'm not expecting just like all the stains. Shout's not gonna get that out.
Do ghosts so I'm assuming the bloodless ghosts are the white, more traditionally type ghosts we see, like Spookifer?
Yeah.
So what's a bloodful ghost? Is a bloodful ghost like pinkish or like red? Like, can you tell? Does it look like a really angry pimple ready to burst at you?
I'd like to think it looks like a big wet sack that's filled and tied off, draped over like a hanger or something like that. So it's like
just kind of dripping.
Yeah.
Making wet squishy noises. Until it's ready to, like, pop.
Yeah.
Ugh.
You'll have to replace the carpeting, says Ryssandia. This is a rich narrative we're building, or just wear red. Red's not really my color.
You'd be surprised how red often doesn't match the weird blood red.
Yeah.
That gets spilled on you. Also, if you're walking around wearing a blood red thing in order to have blood match when it hits you, I have some questions for you.
Yeah, I think maybe what we need to do is walk around in only a like rust-colored outfit, because that's the color that blood turns when it stains, and then we'll be safe from ghosts. All brown. Then if you see a ghost,
walk around in a rust-colored outfit, then you'll be safe from ghosts.
Well, because you'll see a ghost and you'll be like, "Ha ha! You're not staining my outfit today! Nah 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 nah! Bring it, ghost! Woo!" And then you too can be a fearless fighter of the mysterious undead. All right, there we are. Okay, its body is long and rippling, ribbon-like. Here, you take her voice. I didn't realize she'd be a major character.
Something catch your eye.
She leans over me and her eyes lights up when she spots the creature in the water below.
Do you like animals?
I love animals.
Oh, you do? How nice. You'll definitely enjoy your stay here. The palace is home to all kinds of exotic pets. But you don't want to get too friendly with that one. It's vampire eel, imported from swamps far away.
Okay, so with the vampire eel, it's definitely full of blood, and it does not look like some sort of bloodless ghost.
Well,
I call shenanigans on bloodless as an
We have
adjective.
to feed it blood. But yes, it's very full of blood when it is not hungry. I assume anything with a vampire in it. No eyes or ears, but they're really graceful, don't you think?
Yeah.
Unless you splash around a lot, then they won't bother you. But you wouldn't want to catch a bite. If they bite, they don't stop drinking until the body is dry.
I nod, hearing...
That's how the bloodless ghosts happen! I figured it out! The vampire eels eat the people!
Yeah. I nod, peering down at the creature as it spirals into the billowing silt. Oh my god. Portia pats my shoulder, ushering me along. She occupies me with conversation all the way down the bridge.
And then this one time,
As we approach the intricate doors, I find myself growing nervous. Uncertainties start to rise like bubbles coming to a boil within me. Is this wise, what awaits me in this fortress so far from home? If I walk through those doors, will I ever walk out again? I feel like we've been given a lot of choices that do not matter. You know?
probably.
Too soon, we are standing before them, and Portia turns to me with a winsome smile.
Hey, we've arrived!
She swings her fist against the copper plating, 3 skull-rattling strikes. As the last echoes fade, the pendulous doors swing inward, and I am swept inside, wondering if I will ever return. Inside is a different world. Everything is gleaming. The floors, the walls, and the steep ceilings are all clean-cut, polished stone. Lining the hall on either side are many servants standing at attention in brilliant uniform.
Welcome.
Yo, what's up?
Cabbage.
420, smoke weed. I mean, welcome. My eyes flick left and right uneasily as I am welcomed from all angles. When we reach the end of the line, one servant slips away from the rest to join us. Barely 12 feet tall, a sumptuous blue feather stands proudly from their velvet cap. With a deep bow, they pass me and dash to Portia's side.
How we doing on time?
Impeccable timing. The first course will be served shortly. Her ladyship has yet to descend. Portia heaves a sigh of relief and hands her fruit basket off to the bright-eyed servant.
Oh, perfect. Run tell the kitchen that our guest has arrived.
Yes, right away. With a curtsy, the servant slips away, disappearing behind a panel in the wall which slides seamlessly shut.
Well. It looks like we'll be arriving right on time. Her ladyship will be joining us soon. I'll show you the dining room.
Dining?
Yes, the place where you eat.
As in me dining with the Countess?
Why, don't tell me you thought we wouldn't feed you.
Portia giggles, patting me on the shoulder in sympathy.
Don't be shy, you're the guest of honor.
Her words leave my stomach fluttering with everything but hunger. I follow her purposeful stride, our footsteps echoing down the cavernous hall. Soon we are standing before a fine mahogany door, and Portia turns to me.
We'll go in together, okay?
Yeah, I don't think that make drama thing changed anything. Although maybe it did.
I think, if anything, there might be like a point system in the background where all it did is it basically deducted points in favor of you.
Yeah.
Ending up being able to smooch her, but maybe not. Like, it's hard to tell. There's some dating games I've played where literally you meet each character once, and depending on that one interaction, it decides whether or not you're going to go out with them. And other dating games where there's a whole bunch of stuff hidden in the background that you can't tell unless you read up a wiki on. And I can't tell which kind of game this is. Like, it doesn't have any overt meters or anything so far. And it's not also doing that thing where it's like, okay, now that you've met all the characters, choose one of us.
Yeah.
So I don't really know.
Yeah, I feel like... Yeah, it's a little tough because the game is confusing me with its consistency. Because you're rude to her now, she's acting really friendly towards you. That's what's tripping me up about this too. Maybe most people just say help. I don't know. I step into the dining room. Rich scents fill my lungs. Unfamiliar and tantalizing. A quintet dressed in gauzy evening gowns are playing a pleasant, ambling melody.
Before me is a long table laid heavy with platters of the most careful delicacy. Careful is not...
This person feels like they're trying to write a light novel and not getting there. Like, they're choosing really weird word usage.
Careful delicacy. You're a guest, but, like, she'd remember you. Portia pulls out a chair for me and I sink into the plush seat. Now that the food is right in front of me, my hunger returns tenfold, but the Countess has yet to arrive. I tear my gaze away from the table and notice the strange painting on the wall across from me. The scene of that is that of a meal shared among a host of figures with the heads of beasts.
I'm a little weirded by what looks like a bird wing within their food plate and a bird right next to you.
Yeah, I want to see a bigger version of this.
You.
The table is laden with small animals provided by a central character with the head of a goat. Rays of gold glitter around its head and its red eyes are strikingly lifelike. Oh, that's Nadia. Hey, Goat Prince 2 has subscribed for 4 months in a row saying, hey Kathleen, hey Heather, where are all the boys to smooch? We're trying to find some boys to smooch.
Trying to find them.
And Saint Alia of the Knife has just subscribed. Thanks for joining our channel. We don't always play dating games, but when we do, we criticize the writing.
I mean, I'm not... We have found some boys, we just haven't been given any smooch options yet.
Yeah.
Oh, I see you admiring the painting.
Yeah, it is a weird Last Supper, Sniper Pumpkin. My head whips towards the head of the table, source of the sonorous voice. Countess Nadia is taking her seat as graceful as I remember from this morning. At the sight of me, her lips curve into a placid smile.
Do you like it, Elliot? The painting?
Yes?
No, you can't say no.
She drums her elegant fingers. She's put this
Why?
up in their
Why
fucking
would
dining
you
room.
do
Of course
this?
she'd like it.
Why would you do this? Like, where your cheekbone is?
I think she's probably doing this. Like, she's got her hand on the table. Like, she's doing this kind of like...
Yeah, okay. Yeah, alright. It seems, I don't know.
She drums her elegant fingers along her cheekbone, watching me with idle interest.
Oh, you have peculiar taste. I put that there as a trap to see if people say that they like it.
Well,
clearly.
You can't fucking insult the Countess.
I cannot say I care much for it. So why does it remain on the wall where I must always look at it, you might ask?
A servant appears at my side to place a bowl of yogurt and cucumber soup before me. Gazpacho. I bring it to my mouth immediately and drink. Or maybe just very thin tzatziki.
Oh, there's a dead rabbit on the table, too.
Weird. Animals eating animals.
The sentimental value, I suppose. It was one of my husband's favorites. He's dead, by the way.
The Count is his husband. I'm surprised at the mention of him. Count Lucio. As his name takes form in my mind, the image of the goat figure before me becomes somehow familiar.
Oh man, I hope he's really alive and we can smooch him. I bet he's cute.
Suddenly, its red eyes are so vivid I can almost feel them returning my gaze. Beautiful red.
Beautiful.
The words fall from my mouth unbidden.
Ah, yes, it is a beautiful red. But more to the point, you have a spoon. I recommend using it.
Sheepishly, I obey. Amusement shimmers in her brilliant eyes.
As I was saying, the goat-headed one in the middle is him, or it's supposed to be, providing for the people as he saw himself. He certainly knew how to entertain. Never really understood why he thought he was a goat, but festivities at the palace were exhaustive. He loved to spoil his guests.
Pantsless Werewolf is subscribed for 10 months in a row saying, ready for some dating sim goodness. Just finished all runs in Code Realize, so I'm in that now kiss mood.
Yeah.
Keep up the good work, ladies. What's Code Realize?
So there's an anime of it as well that came out recently, but it is a dating game where you get to, you're a girl who has been locked away because I believe when she touches people, she causes them to burn or something. But all of your options, all of your dating options are like real world people, or fictional characters, even like Sherlock Holmes and stuff like that. Except Sherlock Holmes is I think Sherlock Holmes is in the newer one as DLC or something. But because he's a licensed character, his name is like Herlock Sholmes, which I find quite amusing.
Is it good?
I don't know, I haven't played it, but I hear it's like one of the higher up ones that people like.
Huh. Well,
I've been trying to watch the anime, but, you know, Beach isn't super into the dating anime stuff, so I watch it on my own time. It's a via PS4 game, I think.
well, we'll put it on the long list. My list is very long, and I do read all of your suggestions. And this was a game that somebody suggested for me, saying that, you know, you don't have to be locked into that boy-girl thing. It's interesting, looks great. And I was like, sure, let's check it out. My empty bowl is whisked away, and its place is a dish of flaky, golden savories. The Countess watches me devour them with morbid curiosity.
Tell me, Elliot, did you ever attend our masquerade?
I blink, mouth full.
I would imagine so. Our doors were open to all. Well, up to a certain capacity.
I chew my pastry slowly, uncertain of how to answer. The masquerade was a festival held each year in celebration of the Count's birthday. For the Countess to bring him up yet again is unexpected, but I realize now that it's probably had something to do with the reason she called me here.
I know it is a difficult matter to discuss. I know how fondly the people of the city remember the masquerade. And of course how deeply affected we all were by the murder.
I nearly choke.
Yes, you remember the murder.
Mercifully, I catch myself. My pulse quickens nonetheless.
Such a terrible shock to the guests. Such a vicious injustice upon this house. To slaughter the host while he celebrates his birthday, sharing his joy and prosperity with open doors. A hateful crime indeed. Ah, thank you.
As our entrees arrive, the Countess falls silent. I turn my attention to the plate before me, a fragrant lamb dish in a complicated sauce. All that I know of the murder of Count Lucio is through rumors and whispers. Oh, interesting.
Hey, death is hanging out.
Yeah, the story is full of holes, more questions than answers, but the end is the same. The Count retired to his chambers, and by midnight, he and his chamber both were engulfed in flames. The culprit was captured on the spot, or surrendered. The details vary. But before he could be brought to justice, the murderer escaped. Ever since that day, the palace has been locked away from all who would seek to enter. You may be
wondering why I'm telling you all this. Why I called you here.
The Countess speaks with gravity. At once, she has all the room at attention.
Oh, there were other people here. Huh, that's neat. Well, I have been planning this for some time. This year, we will hold the masquerade once more. The gates will open again, and the festivities in Lucio's honor will be more fanatical than ever. Fantastical, excuse me.
Subhuno has subscribed for 19 months in a row, saying 19 months, wow, that means it's been a whole month since the last time I resubbed. She dabs the corner of her mouth. All around the room, palpable shock bears down on the silence. Only Portia appears unbothered by the news.
As I said, I have planned all the necessary details already. There's but one loose end in need of tying. The murderer, to this day, he roams free. Too long he has evaded me. So long as he stalks the shadows of this city, I cannot guarantee the safety of my guests. I must find him, and I must bring him to justice before the people of this city. Surely you know the murderer of whom I speak? Dr. Julian Dvorak, my husband's trusted physician.
There's a terrible crash. All eyes land on Portia, whose face is stricken with horror. At her feet, the broken remnants of our dessert are seeping onto the floor.
Portia? Oh, forgive me, my lady. The slippery hands. You are forgiven.
Two servants rush to her aid, sweeping away the shattered porcelain with wind sprint speed.
Anyway, this is where you come in, Elliot.
So Julian killed...
She's saying that Julian, who was her husband's physician, was the one who murdered her husband on his birthday.
I knew that Dvorak keyboards were suspects as Cuttlefish Man.
The fugitive has proved very elusive. The palace guard is helpless in rooting him out. But while they continue to disappoint me, you come highly recommended. Your master is known far and wide. Rumor has it that you have surpassed him already. I myself see the future in dreams, whether I like it or not. And this is how I know that you are the one who will find him for me. That fraudulent doctor who betrayed us and murdered my husband. This is why I've called you here, Elliot. If anyone can help me find him, it is you.
And if we find him? The Countess sets down her glass. When? Oh, yes.
When we find him, we will bring him before the people so that all may see his long-awaited punishment. Whether he begs for his life or hangs his head in defeat, the people will delight in his suffering. A spectacle of vengeance. The mob will love it. And so, to commence the festivities...
You can get, like, drawn and quartered at the least. Spicy Napalm has just subscribed.
I don't understand how, if they know he did it, how they didn't get him beforehand.
Yeah.
Especially if her husband is as beloved as she's saying he is. And on top of that, why she's, like, very much like, I need to do this so that the mob of people sees this. I need to have a very complicated plan to stop this person.
Yeah, this is not adding up. Ilsnine has subscribed for 30 months in a row. Thank you, Illisine.
Oh, right. And so to commence the festivities, the doctor will die on the gallows.
Oh, that's very kind of you to just gallows him.
Well, if all goes according to plan anyway.
The Countess rises. On instinct, I rise as well.
Portia? Yes, milady? Show Elliot to the guest quarters. I imagine there is much to ponder before the night is out. I mean, he did just learn about all the murders and things. Oh, right away, milady.
Portia pulls me to my feet with a humble bow, and with a humble bow whisks me to the doorway.
I'm interested to see more of this magic of yours, Elliot. And I look forward to our partnership.
Automatically, I bow. The Countess looks pleased. Portia hurries me out the door. Portia is quiet as she ushers me down the hall towards my room. I don't mind. The Countess's words left us both with much to think about. After a few turns, we pass a wide staircase veiled in shadow. I wonder if that's Portia's brother or cousin or something like that.
I mean, she seems... She doesn't... She's clearly shocked by what's being said, so she has some sort of relationship with him.
Yeah. A draft rushes down from the floor above, prickling my skin. It's cold and it smells of ash. I strain to see where the stairs lead, but the darkness at the top is impenetrable. More importantly, curled up on the bottom are two large, lanky dogs. They notice me just as I've noticed them. They're so cute.
Those are really neat.
Those are good dogs. A+ doggos. Would look at again. Probably will. Fathomless eyes fix upon me and they rise slowly without a sound. Fathomless. Because fathom is deep. So deepless eyes, like...
Not deep eyes?
Yeah, let me just double check this, but like, this is bothering me.
I swear I've seen fathomless used before. Very shallow eyes, flat eyes.
Yeah. Unable to be measured, or no, fathomless. Unable to be measured or understood, extremely deep. And then the example is staring into a pair of cold, fathomless gray eyes. Bottomless, like unfathomable. Fathom is a verb meaning deep. Fathomless is immeasurably deep, beyond imagining. I don't like the writing in this game.
I would advise staying away from light novels.
Well, I just think that, like, there's a lot of, like, gilding going on.
Oh, sure, but that's what I mean. This is not even...
This author writes a lot of fanfic. I've read much better fanfic than this. Team Manfred has cheered with 100 bits, saying, "Fathomless bits are fixed upon you, and they rise slowly without a sound." Those dogs look so overbred. Though they look as though they could strike me at any moment, I sense no ill intent. They're so cute. I hold out my hand, and they each approach to sniff it. Their huffing breaths tickle my skin. The more they smell, the more their tails start to swing from side to side. There's a gasp from up ahead, and I look to see Portia watching the scene unfold with wide eyes.
Huh. Well, that's unusual.
Portia rounds back, observing the dogs carefully.
Those two never take kindly to strangers, or anyone, really. In fact, they never really move from that step if they don't have to.
Maybe they're Great Danes.
You didn't cast a spell on them, did you?
Lovecraft has prose that is far more purple. This prose is slightly purple, but I've seen much worse. Purple prose is like the sort of joking thing for things that are, like, over-seasoned, I would say, in the writing. Just, like, way more stuff going on than you need to. Not that I'm saying that we should all read, that everything should read like The Road, but, like, I feel like there's a line that needs to be drawn where you think that you're adding too much stuff that makes it better, and what you're actually doing is overcomplicating it. Slim snouts brush against my sides. The dogs investigate me further. Satisfied, they draw back, looking at me expectantly.
Ooh, try to pet. Who stares down dogs? That's a bad idea.
On a whim, I reach out to run my hand over the smaller one's silky coat.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
We let them sniff you first.
Sorry, I know you two were having a moment. But you'd rather keep that hand, trust me. Now go on, you two. No snacking after dinner.
Grudgingly, the hounds trot back to their spot on the stairs. Once they've folded their snowy bodies upon the step, they nearly blend into the marble.
Oh, that reminds me, they haven't had their chamomile cakes. They're gonna be up all night. Keep Elliot company, you two. No growling, no snapping, and no biting. They've gotten a lot better. It's just tough to train them out of their old ways. Count Lucia liked to keep them vicious. Be right back.
Portia swoops through a sliding panel in the wall. I'm left alone in the hallway with the dogs. I feel the bigger one sniff my side insistently. When I look down, it simply pulls back and stares. The smaller one is sniffing my other side, huffing samples of my scent. I whirl to catch it.
Huffing samples?
And it sits back on its haunches, watching me innocently. Cheeky. As I look into its one sanguine eye, an unsettling sensation ripples through my body like a wave of fever. Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm sorry.
Oh, hello. What do we have here? A guest.
I startle back, gaze darting up and down the corridor. Who said that? It sounded like it was coming from up there, the top of the stairs. I can only see so far into the hollow gloom, but there's no one there. I nearly jump when I feel a yanking at my garments. The dogs. Their teeth are buried in my clothes, unrelenting as they drag me onto the stairs. I trip up the first few steps and their tails start wagging. I hear the voice again, a hiss of delight.
Yes, my beauties, bring the morsel to Papa.
Hey! I wrench myself free. Groaning in frustration, the dogs scamper to the top of the stairs. Oh, there we are. And wait. Carefully, I take the next step towards the oppressive gloom.
Good. Just a little closer. Best behavior, you two. Let's show off our famous hospitality.
Snickering bounces off the walls, and I feel the sweltering heat at my back urging me higher. Oh, follow the voice. 50 coins.
So this is how this works. Okay, so I see this in a lot of mobile games where if you want to do the more interesting things, you have to have, like, the in-game currency or whatever.
Okay, well, they gave us 150 coins, and we can buy... Well, I haven't paid anything for this game yet.
Yeah, so do it.
I take the rest of the steps on my own. The dogs pant and circle each other in excitement as I approach the landing.
Yes, it's been too long since we had company, hasn't it? Good dogs, you're dismissed, yes you are.
I'm vaguely aware of their silky bodies brushing my sides as they slink away. A few more steps and I reach a miasma of thick, scorching air that pricks my skin all over.
Now then, let's take a proper look at you, my little appetizer.
Nitsaran has subscribed for 8 months to row going. What? The mocking words lap at my ear. I can feel hot breath skimming my cheek, a presence at my side. It falls back, cool air filling the void, soothing my nerves before I get the distinct feeling of being circled.
Tisk tisk, cheap clothes, did you make them yourself? And these shoes, even worse. Don't you own any others?
A phantom gaze roams my body from head to toes. I twist and squirm, trying to catch the presence by sight. It's futile.
Just yet another peasant worm tracking peasant filth up and down my halls. And yet, the dogs did say you smell delicious. I guess you're not too unfortunate looking. Ooh, what's this?
There's a sensation at the crown of my head, sucking the air, drawing my aura up. A guttural groan.
There, your energy. Oh, it's him. You bear his signature. Azra! This powerful, potent magic. Oh, that's the real deal. And he's all over you, could it be?
I feel the feverish heat swoop over my shoulders, rising up before me. It blasts across my face, impossibly close.
Was it you? The one who broke him for me? I'd just love to get to know you.
The searing heat scatters. For a moment, I'm swaying on my feet, eyes lidded. I feel strange. A rash of warmth lands on my shoulders, whisper light, and starts to lead me down the arid hall. The longer the pressure bears down on me, the hotter it grows. Even as it begins to burn, I keep walking.
Elliot.
Portia, her call rings through my hazy mind like crystal. Sharp, unseen fingers sink into my shoulder before they release. A steamy sigh flutters over my neck, raising goosebumps all the way down my back.
That's you, right?
One phantom claw drags up the underside of my chin, lifting my lolling head. For a split second, I think I must see a face, a figure standing right in front of me.
I'll keep my eye on you, Elliot.
Oh, good. Ghosts. My
The
name rings
loveliest
out all
ghosts.
around again. Portia's sing-song voice and a mocking echo that travels down the empty hall. When I stumble down the stairs, disoriented, Portia is looking around the corners for me.
Oh, there you are. Where'd the dogs go? Up the stairs?
Up the stairs, I nod, feeling the last of the haze lift from my mind. She takes me gently by the elbow.
You know, I'm just gonna leave these cakes right here and, let's get you to bed. We've had a long day.
I follow up Portia's heels until we arrive at our destination. Vire has subscribed for 2 months in a row, saying, because people enjoy music, I must tell the world about hardcore and soda Instagram account that does what it says. Hardcore punk match to fancy sodas. Thankfully, it isn't much further. She swings open the door with a sweeping gesture.
And here we are. There will be your quarters for now, Elliot. You can put your things wherever you like. Breakfast is at sunrise. I'll be sure to wake you.
My fatigue must be showing. I let my bag fall to the floor.
If you find anything lacking, don't hesitate to ask.
Portia prepares my bed with remarkable speed. Eyeing the smooth linens, I shudder with exhaustion.
All right, you look about ready to drop. I'll leave you be. Unless you have any burning questions. I mean, I have a few.
Yeah, leaning against the doorway, she bats her eyes expectantly. You dropped something during dinner. Why? Portia's expression sours, color draining from her cheeks.
My hands were slippery. I should be more careful. And you should mind your own business.
She stares me dead in the eyes. And then she turns away. I say nothing more, but curiosity burns on the back of my tongue. She is about to pull the door shut when she stops, sighing deeply.
Look, we're going to be seeing a lot of each other for the next 13 days specifically. I'm willing to admit that we may have gotten off on the wrong foot. let's just be done with it. I'm sorry for the way I acted earlier. What do you say?
Fine. Good night. Portia laughs, raising her hands and backing apologetically out into the hall.
Okay, good night. Sleep tight. Holler if you need anything.
I moan something in response, and the door clicks shut. At once, I burrow into the luxurious sheets. It feels as though I'm weightless. Heart thumping to the rhythm of Portia's steady, ever-distant footfalls, I sink into unconsciousness.
So do you think that Goat Ghost might be dead count?
Absolutely.
Given that he's like...
He's a goat!
A goat in the weird painting thing?
Yeah, and the dogs obey him.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. 38, 911 basic bites free is traded with 100 bits. The writing may be amusingly bad, but at least we're not expected to fall for arrogant and abusive pets. That's true. And I would not
Fair.
say the writing is bad. It's actually a very interesting story, and it's well presented. It's just actually
It's overly flowery.
Yeah, it's just a little off-putting.
To didn't it say bubbles boil
Oh, yeah.
at one point? Like, it's just some kind of... It's like, it feels like they used fancy words in places because they sound fancy as opposed to
Yes.
they wanted to necessarily use those words.
Yeah, everybody's like, the writing style is overdone, it's overly embellished, Addie Pie, a bit much. That's the thing. The writing's actually good. It just feels like it needs an editor who doesn't read romance novels.
Mm.
To be like, I need you to take out 50% of your adjectives, use them when they count, because the problem being, when everything is ridiculous, nothing is important.
Mm.
So nothing jumps out at you. Everything is flowery and overdone and over the top. And like when you really want somebody to notice something that is interesting or unique, you're used to skimming over all of these adjectives and they don't have any impact.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that's just like, I feel like Lady Killer in a Bind, as much as I keep talking about the game, was very good because the writing was very clear and concise, but when it wasn't, it was impactful.
Mm.
I can't sleep. This is torture.
Well, your bed too sad for you.
After the day-long climb to the palace, I finally have a chance to rest. But whenever I settle into the embrace of sleep, I am tugged back into consciousness. After writhing around for a while, I sit up frustrated. When I do, I can sense the faintest whiff of magic in the air. The direction from which it's coming is the door. Quietly, I slide out of bed. I slip my shoes on and retrieve my bag from the floor. I may need my things. Taking a deep breath, I turn the handle of the door and emerge into the brightly lit hallway. There is no soul in sight. Good, I must have wasted a few hours tossing and turning. I shuffle down the hall, trusting my senses to lead me. I make a few turns. Each time I have no doubt which way to go, until I reach a fork and the trail goes cold. No, that's not it. The trail is hot from both sides. Left or right?
Left.
Yeah, that's what Lurbot always says. The leftward hall leads me onto a balmy veranda, bathed in starlight. Below, I see the gardens, shady and lush.
I mean, I don't think it matters which direction you go, so it's just kind of like, yeah.
From up high, I can see that the middle forms a maze of greenery. Its center, there's a clearing. I know at once where to go. Silently, I descend the garden path, shrouded in a warm breeze. Breezes don't shroud you. I'm sorry.
Like Ghost Center of Lawless.
Shroud means like to cover, like a shroud. Like the breeze isn't gonna. A breeze doesn't cover you; it moves past you. Quieting my thoughts, I listen to the night birds and let my intuition lead me through the maze. The path was shrouded. As I near the center, the musical sound of falling water grows louder and louder. I reach a fountain. Around it is a wide gazing pool, and overhead is a rich old willow tree.
A mergoat.
You could just say a large old... rich? Sorry, now I can't unsee it. Hanging from the tree. Faust!
It's really cute.
Faust! What on earth is she doing here? And if she's here, could he be here too? She flicks her tongue, hovering over the gazing pool. The gleam in her eye shows that she wants to show me something. I take a seat on the edge of the pool and lean over and peer into the reflective water below. The longer I concentrate on the shapes in the water, the more they change. Colors too faint to see start to deepen. Shadows start to twist and form. Before I know it, my reflection is fading away, and in its place, I see Astra drawing water to his face and drinking deeply. Each drop that trickles from his hands sends ripples through his image as it strikes the surface. I'm so shocked to see him that I can only gape silently, afraid that any sound will break the spell. Then he shakes out his hair, blinks the water from his eyes, and looks straight at me. Elliot! Astra looks as surprised as I am. He leans forward close enough that I can see the droplets in his eyelashes. Can you hear me? I nod, barely able to believe it myself. If this is no spell of his, then how did I... Incredible! He laughs. I see now that he is sitting cross-legged, probably beside a pond. His mount, the strange beast from before, is lying beside him, resting its weighty head on his knee. Ah, there's Faust. Looks like she found you all right. I wasn't all that sure about leaving her, but after that reading you gave me, I thought I'd trust my intuition. I'm glad that she's here. We need a friend. I glance up at Faust, still hanging from the branch. She looks very proud of herself. Now that I'm over the shock of finding her, I'm beyond relieved to have her near. In the reflection, Astra looks pretty pleased with himself, too. It makes me laugh. I'm glad that you're here, too. His face flushes, and the beast on his knee gives a rumbling snort. Where is here, exactly? I know that tree. Are you at the palace? Changing the subject, how typical. I tell him everything that's happened since we parted. The more I speak, the more his eyes glimmer with keen interest. Unbelievable! The day that I leave you was the day that you needed me the most. And even then, you didn't really need me at all. But I'm glad Faust is with you at least. I would guess that she had something to do with this. If anything happens to either of you, I'll know. I can live with that. The beast on Astra's knee groans, blinking awake and peering up into his face. Ah, looks like we've rested long enough. We have to go, but I'm really glad I got to see you. He rises and with one last glance moves out of my view. The lumbering beast shuffles behind him. My only warning is the roaring wind before the image is enveloped in a storm of rust-colored sand. When it clears, the water is still and I see myself reflected with Faust by my side. That place! Where was he just now? It looked familiar. That copper sand and the creature beside him. I realized they're the same as my dream. So that was a vision then. I'd forgotten all about it. The stars must be aligned in some powerful way. But more than that. Master once told me that anyone can perform a magical act. Magic is what you do to make the outcome you desire become reality. So was it my desire to see him? Did my magic reach out to him wherever he is? Or was it the other way around? Could be both. Mind racing, I rise to my feet. Faust watches me attentively from the tree. I beckon her to follow. Getting to my room unnoticed is going to be a challenge. Steeling myself, I turn backwards towards the palace. As I go, I listen to the birds' echoing calls, and I feel the weight of eyes on my back. Many eyes from every corner of the garden. This place is teeming with life.
That snake has gotten much bigger.
I need sleep. The rustling leaves sound too much like whispers. Hastening my step, I retreat up the stairs and slip back inside.
I don't understand why he has to skip back to his room.
Yeah.
He hasn't done anything weird or suspicious. He couldn't sleep and went for a walk around the palace, but he's acting like people can't see him, and I don't really get it.
Yeah. Oh. I'm walking down the black stone path, whipped by wind and rust-colored sand. The thick, dark clouds hanging overhead are heavier than before. I'm dreaming again. Then, where is Astra? The unforgiving wind burns my eyes as I search the desolate landscape. Up there ahead of me, too far to reach, I see my teacher and the lumbering beast. Calling out is useless. I have no voice. E-Block has cheered with 59 bits saying, I'm so glad we're not dating cats for once. Thanks for the stream, Kathleen and Heather. And Wazelda has cheered with 92 bits saying, 92 bits. I say that they have stopped at a fork in the road. One way goes east and the other west. Astra dismounts the creature, placing a hand on its hide. A lingering look, and then turns down the path to the east, disappearing into the tempestuous sea of sand. Astra turns to the path on the west. I know once and he is going the wrong way. Not that way, not again! His head turns. Even from the uncrossable distance, I feel our eyes meet.
125.
Oh, we don't have enough. Well, Paul's here. Do. How about we take a quick break while Kathleen and Heather pump some money into this game?
Yeah. We'll be right back.
We're back. We've bought some coins. Now here's the thing. I'm not opposed to paying for games. In fact, I like paying for games. I think we should pay for games.
Yeah. I'm not against that either. What bothers me is you don't know how many coins you need throughout this game in order to get all the choices, which means that option they had, which was like pay $55 for a lot of coins. Or if you want to replay the game, you probably also have to pay more coins. Mm-hmm. There's no give us money and we unlock stuff.
Yeah,
is kind of the problem I have with the way they do this.
I would much rather just pay $20 even and get the whole game and be done with it.
Yeah. Now, granted, you can still play this game without putting any of the coins in because they give you that option to, and I'm like, well, that's cool too. That does allow you to do whatever. But of course, that means there are all these options that you will probably not get to do because it's blocked off.
Yeah.
And just let me pay for it because there's going to be no way to accrue coins naturally in here, and even in games that allow you to do that generally don't let you get enough in order to open up options like that, except for like Mystic Messenger is pretty good about it. But Mystic Messenger is also not, you can do everything without putting any money in.
Yeah, I just want to I just want to pay for a game outright. Like, I don't think that's unreasonable. Like, just let me buy your damn game. Don't nickel and dime me, right? And I realize that this is more effective for more people, but have this monetization scheme, or just have something ridiculous that says $35, everything's unlocked, go for it.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, Windmill Slam, done. I'm going to stream this game for probably 1 or 2 sessions, right? Horse Boyfriend had good monetization. I turned off ads and got a little bonus, and then got some
And
magical
there
carrots.
is something to be said about the pay partially system, because maybe you only have like $30 you can spend on a game in a month, and over the course of 2 months, then you can pay the full $60.
Yeah.
Pokemon Picross did that, where you can pay money for more of the things, and then once you've paid a certain amount of money, they just forever give you as many as you need forever.
Yeah,
and
I noticed that.
Which isn't great in the sense of like monetization making for the company, but I don't care about them as much as I care about customer satisfaction. Yeah,
that's my other issue. Is I'm actually really annoyed with the new fortune cookies in Animal Crossing. They're just it's just a little gachapon machine.
Yep, one that costs money.
One that costs a lot of money. 50 leaf tickets for a cookie?
Yep, for a maybe.
For a maybe. You don't. They don't even it's not okay. So you got this. So now it ticks off the list, and now you'll get the next thing on the list, and you'll get everything, and then after you've gotten everything, then you can start getting duplicates.
Yeah,
it's fucking random chance, which is bullshit.
Supposedly, you can get the fancier cookies. Will sometimes show up.
Yep, I've gotten a 5,000 bell cookie,
but it's just at the same time, all the special things clearly have stuff that's this will only be around for 60 days. So, because that's meant to drive you into being I'm going to run out of time if I don't collect everything.
I'm so angry.
And I know you can get leaf tickets for free in a sense, because I do have a whole bunch of them, and I haven't put money into the game. And I'm not opposed to putting money into the game, but I get more
leaf
opposed to doing it.
Leaf tickets are so expensive, though.
Yeah, exactly. And I get more opposed to putting money into the game when I feel like it's predatory.
Yeah, it's super. I'm actually really annoyed at Animal Crossing. I really like all the other changes they've made, which is frustrating, though. But the fucking cookies are bullshit.
There's certain memory things you can't unlock without some of the special items.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really irritating. Rah. All right.
Anyway, we're gonna reach out to him, right?
Yeah.
Because that'd be weird if we didn't know.
Yeah. With all my will, I drive myself forward to reach out close enough to grasp a hold of his hand. He turns around to see me. His eyes are wide with wonder. Before everything around us dissolves and falls away. It's yesterday somehow. I'm sweeping up a mess of powdered bat milk when Astra wanders in from the back room. Fucking bat milk gets everywhere. Gross.
Especially when it's powdered.
Yeah. Elliot, wait till you see what the woods had to offer today. Mushrooms, fruit, roots, and flowers tumble out of his bag onto the linen laying over the countertop. He leans on his elbows, hands under his chin, to watch me appraise the bounty with delight. Wow, so much. This is more than we need. Well, this time I thought it would be better to have plenty. I don't want to leave you here with nothing to eat but pumpkin bread.
Pumpkin bread sounds delicious.
It's like that Starbucks pumpkin loaf. Yum.
God, I love it.
I know. I slow my appraisal. With my hands occupied, Astra slips a gold berry into my mouth and I chew slowly, tasting nothing. Leave me. That's right, this was the moment right before he packed his bag to go. I wanted to tell him then. Now I can't remember why I didn't. I can't hold it in. I want to come with you. Astra blinks, drops his gaze and sighs. Gentle hands come to either side of my face as he looks deep into my eyes. I know. I wish I could take you. It's too risky. Of course, wherever he goes, too far, too fast, too risky for me, but not for him. I lay my hand over Astra's, turning my face to so my lips meet his palm. He goes still with surprise. Let's flirt with our boss. That's an appropriate workplace environment.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we're not in an appropriate workplace to begin with.
I know, like many people's spouses are here.
He just wanders off all the time. I don't think we've been properly trained.
I thought you were talking about our particular workplace being extremely inappropriate.
I mean, probably in a lot of ways, but no, I'm talking about in the game.
Yeah. Sometimes it feels weird to live in Iceland where we have neither a Starbucks or McDonald's. You're not really missing anything at the Starbucks aside from pumpkin loaf.
Definitely not missing anything at McDonald's.
It's been so many years
Although
since I've
I
eaten
do
McDonald's.
admit I go sometimes because it's just I just want. Their cheeseburgers taste a specific way.
It's been so many years since I've had a McDonald's cheeseburger.
I mean, I only go to the there's the one by the Old Moon base that I go to, and every time I go there, it's super crowded, and I'm like, why? Why did I think this was a good place to go?
It's the one Ben used to live beside, and apparently it's just the worst McDonald's.
Yeah. I accidentally went there when they were having some kind of promotion where cheeseburgers were 50 cents or something.
Oh yeah,
and
I'd go for a 50-cent cheeseburger.
So crowded, and I was just like, why? And there was this lady who was in front of us too, who was talking about how she'd been to every McDonald's on the island for this deal for some reason, and I was just like, I don't understand, please be wise. It was really weird.
Huh.
All I wanted was a milkshake.
Christ. Milkshakes though. Big Wheel's a pretty good analog.
Oh yeah, so
Big
much
Wheel
better.
burgers. I like to think that was what McDonald's cheeseburgers used to taste like. Alright. I lay my hand over Astra's, turning my face so my lips meet his palm. He goes still with surprise. I'll risk it. You will? Why? Are you that eager to put yourself in danger? You want to join me in the den of the baby-eating blood mountain beast? Slog through the crawling maze of Torturia, only to end up in the quicksand pit in the bog of resistance? He doesn't get it. He blinks when I shake away his hand, or would take away his touch, hands curling into fists by my side. I want to be with you. If you're going to Blood Mountain, that's where I want to be. Blood Mountain. You want to put yourself in danger. To be with me, that's... Asper worries... Oh! You do write fan fiction!
Raise his lip.
That means, rub something back and forth, but it's a phrase fan fiction writers fucking invented that has no place in real English. You see me just, fucking wrench on the headphone cord?
Yeah.
Told you. Alright, Felix Melior, you win. If you wanted to override it, you could say Astra catches his lip between his teeth, trapped in thought. Right? You could say that.
Usually it's bites his lip in thought. The skating hands down.
That was my overwriting suggestion. Trapping his lip between his teeth.
Skating hands down arms is Harlequin romance novel steer.
Worries his lip brow is perfectly valid English. I would pretty sure that predates the internet. I have literally only ever read this in fan fiction, and a very specific kind of fan fiction. You're really serious this time, huh? As if turning you down isn't hard enough already. It's even harder when we want the same thing. You don't want to be left behind, and I don't want to leave you, but...
Oh, you mean that.
Sometimes we can't have what we want, even when it feels right. It's Victorian-era English. Pretty sure someone furrows their brow. I'll bring back whatever you want, okay? Anything. My brow furrows, and he squeezes my hand in apology. I don't want souvenirs. I want to be where he is. I thought he wanted the same. Setting my jaw, I grip his hands and look him dead in the eye. If I have to be the one to banish these doubts, I will. Oh, wow. We can just come on to him.
Ooh.
Should we go... Let's go direct.
Let's go direct.
I want you.
Because the do you want me is like... It's very much like... I'm seeing if you also have vibes, even though he clearly gave them.
Yeah, he gave them. I want you. He goes still and his hands brace mine tight. His chest shudders with a sigh as he pulls away from me. You do? I can't. I want you safe. He takes a step towards the door, but I catch his wrist. His pain expression must be mirrored on my own face. You don't want me? Words try to escape his throat, but he can't seem to speak. I've never seen him so tongue-tied. This scene was gated behind a paywall, remember? My heart sinks steadily until he tugs me into a tight embrace. Of course I do. It was only that easy. When he pulls back, he looks into my eyes with such clarity that everything else goes out of focus. You're more honest in dreams, huh? Dreams? The room pulses, colors shifting. A dream? Is that what this is? Of course, he's already gone. I won't get a chance like this until he returns. Just like I remember, Astrid takes a flower and tucks it behind my ear before I can speak. I really can't wait to see you again. His voice reverberates through my consciousness, soft and full of promise. Now pay, then kiss.
My concern is, too, because certain scenes are behind paywalls, like the way that they speak in other scenes where it's like, oh, and then I just told him everything that occurred, and then he, like, didn't mention any specifics, suggests that nothing changes whether you open those scenes or not.
Mm-hmm. My mind grasps after the vestiges of the dream, but it's futile. It's already fading away. Sunlight tickles my face. I open my eyes with a groan.
Morning, Elliot.
I scramble backwards in bed. For a moment, I have no idea where I am. And then I remember, the room is so fine I could only be at the palace. Portia busies herself with the curtains while I get my bearings about me.
What a lovely sunrise. Did you sleep well? I hope the dogs didn't wake you last night. Something set them off. They were causing a ruckus.
Sniffing around the garden of all places. Oh, wait, sorry.
Sniffing around the garden of all places. I was afraid we had an intruder. Wouldn't that just be exactly what we need right now? Ha ha ha.
She laughs, oblivious to my shifty gaze.
Well, I didn't find anyone. It's a good thing, too, because all I had on hand was a shovel. That could have gotten really ugly. Anyway, breakfast will be served shortly. I'll let you freshen up and then we'll head over. By the way, the Countess has requested that you bring your cards with you.
I sit up at that, fully awake.
Aha. Oh, and these are for you.
Portia sets a neat pile of clothing on the bed beside me. I unfold the top piece, marveling at the way the fabric moves.
I hope you don't mind. Took your measurements when you were sleeping. I have explicit orders to make sure you're not wearing the same thing you were wearing last night.
I blink, glancing over my old clothes. They might be looking a little worse for wear.
I'll give you some privacy.
Portia ducks out the door. I move the silky garments aside and toss back my bed covers. I guess change into the new clothes.
I might as well wear the new clothes. It's not every day we get new clothes.
I disrobe and pull on my new outfit, fumbling with its delicate clasps
and maybe
buttons.
Someone will walk in on us while we're changing. We can have that scene.
The fabric flutters around my wrists like a gentle breeze. It feels as though I'm wearing nothing at all. I retrieve my bag, peeking inside to make sure Faust isn't hiding there. No sign of her. Sighing, I pull the bag onto my shoulders and step out into the hall.
Oh, you look so nice. The Countess has a real eye for fashion. She'll definitely be pleased. Let's not keep her waiting, shall we?
My chest swells with confidence. Fighting back a grin, I follow Portia to the dining room. The room is bright, far more welcoming than before. Servants are bustling to and fro. The Countess is already seated when I enter, and she appears to be nursing a headache.
Carmen.
She spares me a brief glance from beneath the hand cradling her forehead. Oh, wow, they changed her outfit. I'm impressed.
Oh, yeah, that is actually impressive in a dating game. I'm just listening to the copyright-free music.
Yeah, Noj Livik has subscribed thanks to Thirsty Kitty.
Ooh, gift sub. Good morning, Elliot. I trust you had a pleasant night's sleep.
Honestly, this game is gorgeous.
It's a really pretty game.
Mm-hmm. Huh, that is Carmen. Why? I mean, well, what is Carmen? I know all about Carmen because of Persona 5. Of course, she famously, what is the plot of Carmen?
There's a bullfighter. And it's like a love story between, like a trio of people?
Yeah. And she gets spurned at the end, but then they did like a feminist remake where she like gets her revenge or something like that.
I mean, the only real version of Carmen I've seen is the adaptation that they do in like Hey Arnold.
Our gender is like... The thing is, the gender is like... It's, as far as I can tell, it's just for you. Maybe we're Betamax Epsilon, the omni-gendered super being, as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, I think that's fine.
Carmen dies because of jealousy, that's right.
Serafina has subscribed for 20 months in a row thanks to Thirsty Kitty. Another gift sub.
I think Carmen gets killed. Yeah. I believe.
This is also a song that shows up in a lot of rhythm games. Under the classic section. Because there's always a classic section with all the royalty-free classic music that they can stick in. Well, I had an exceptionally miserable one. The dreams were vivid, enough to frighten me awake, and yet I cannot remember any of them. Oh, I hate those. And then, of course, the dogs were feeling active. Hello, Portia. Coffee, milady? Ugh, please.
A nod, and Portia goes to a gleaming golden contraption nestled in the far corner. The Countess strokes her temples and lowers her hand from her face. The full force of her gaze falls upon me.
Ah, you've changed. Is that the ensemble I sent down? My, the difference is astounding. One would hardly recognize you. The fit appears to be correct. Those garments you came with were most unkind to you.
Under her shameless scrutiny, my face starts to prickle with heat.
Who would have guessed that you were so becoming underneath?
Oh, I know.
Not your boss, surely. And how nicely these colors complement your tones. I do have an impeccable eye, don't I, Portia? Oh, impeccable!
A sumptuous egg dish is placed before me, drawing my attention. Meanwhile, the blue-feathered servant from last night bustles to the Countess's side to report some goings-on. I drown out the clatter and focus on my meal, marveling at its delicate texture. And yet my eyes keep flicking up to the painting on the wall. It feels as though it's watching me.
Well, you may tell them that they have no choice in the matter.
Will that be all, Your Grace?
That will be all. Now then, Elliot.
The Countess's voice shakes me from my thoughts.
I understand that you have your cards with you, specifically because I did tell them to tell you to bring them.
Cautiously, I pull my satchel up from the floor and onto my lap.
Splendid. Please, come closer.
The servants promptly relocate me to a seat at the Countess's side. This is the closest we've been since our first meeting. That almost makes me nervous to breathe.
First and foremost, in 13 days, we will be celebrating the Count's birthday. Preparations, as you know, are well underway, so I must ask you to be expedient in this. It is not my intention to rush you, but by the time the day is out, I will need to know whether you intend to cooperate with me. Unless perchance you have decided to do so already. I think she's just asking if you've made your decision yet, not so much if you are going to cooperate or not.
Yeah. Those eyes got menacing real fast. I'm gonna say, like, I'm feeling very nervous. Yes is double yes. What do we miss out on when we don't cooperate? Why wouldn't you, though? Like, yes just makes sense, right?
I mean, we showed up at the palace that kind of says we're going to cooperate with you. Right? To me, it's kind of weird, but...
Yeah. Yes, I mean, we're here.
We're here. You're really close to me and keep telling me I have to make a decision.
And I'm fucking scared shitless of this lady. The Countess's weary visage blossoms into a satisfied smile.
Ah, wise choice. I'm pleased to hear it. If you serve me well, you will have my utmost gratitude, and of course a generous reward. The one where I let you live.
Though I perk up at the mention of this reward. So much has happened, I had forgotten all about it.
Ah, that eager face will be my undoing, and yours as well if you do not learn to master it. Together we will make a fine team. Our forces combined are quite formidable. You and I, my guard, and those cards of yours.
Her gaze falls pointedly on the bag in my lap. I'm compelled to pull it closer to me.
I think she doesn't care that it's us so much as that we have our master's cards.
Instead, I retrieve the deck from its hiding spot and place it hesitantly on the table. The Countess's eyes flash with interest. She smiles, looking out the window with a musical sigh.
It is a glorious morning, a new day. I trust that my fortune will have changed. Read the cards for me again, Elliot. Tell me that my fortune has changed. I would like to know what they have to share on the heels of this fortuitous news.
I start shuffling. As usual, the feeling of my master's deck in my hands is a little unnerving.
Oh man, I could really go for an MTG tarot deck.
The cards leave a faint tingling sensation on my fingertips. Distracting but familiar. Helps me to empty my mind. No Soul has subscribed for 56 months in a row.
Woo. I'm still not convinced that choosing a card changes anything. Or that you get a different card when you...
The Emperor.
And what does he say for me?
I peer into the face of the card and listen. You have proven your wisdom, your intelligence, and your ability to rule. Your lessers no longer hesitate to bow before you. Where there was doubt, you have built trust. Where there is chaos, you have made order. When your will is done, the city will sing your praise to the stars and celebrate it as it never has before. There is a collective fluttering, oohs and ahs. I hadn't realized the servants were watching. Their faces are radiant with delight. Portia has her hands clasped at her heart. And yet the Countess looks unimpressed. She lifts the card from the table and examines it with a neutral eye.
Well, that is all very good of him to say.
Abruptly, she stands. The servants snap to attention.
Elliot, would you care to join me for a stroll, by which you can't say no? There is something I would like to show you.
Like a flower unfurling, she extends a graceful hand to me. It takes a moment for me to realize I'm meant to take it. Awkwardly, I place my hand in hers and she pulls me to my feet. Her cool touch slips away and she breezes past me.
Come, I suspect you will be very glad you did.
Hastily, I gather my cards and return them to my bag, slinging it onto my shoulder.
Portia?
Coming! Oh, sorry. I was just thinking that the dialogue in this is pretty okay. It's just the descriptive parts.
I mean, so, like, you can do a lot with dialogue that you that you can't necessarily get away with in descriptive text because people speak in all kinds of different ways. So if they had a character who was overly flowery or anything like that, I wouldn't find those parts bothersome. That's just how that character speaks, right?
But when the descriptive part is overly flowery. Also, Asthanthius with a very good joke. Ah, yes, the bitch card. It says you're a bitch.
Don't tarot readings usually use multiple cards? There's several different tarot readings you can do. There are single card draws that are a thing, but they're really, really basic. I don't know if you could get as much information as they're doing, but it is also a game where they're probably doing a lot.
Yeah.
You can do stuff as complicated as having like 12 cards for a reading. There's just different layouts.
Yeah. I fall in step behind the Countess and we exit to the hall. The Countess's steps are effortlessly swift. It takes some effort to keep her pace. I don't pay much attention to my surroundings until they start looking familiar. Our path leads us past the marble staircase. I found myself searching the stairs as we pass. No dogs this time, or perhaps they are curled up in the shadows, out of sight. The Countess notices my shift in attention and smiles sweetly.
If you are looking for the hounds, they will be having their morning meal about now. You seem to have a kinship with those animals. In fact, Portia tells me you were rather enchanted with one of the security eels. I find them rather enchanting as well, though they are quite unhappy here. Their native climate is deep in the south, icy, dark waters.
I recall the way the creature under the bridge had twisted itself into the mud. Oh, that's sad.
We only unlock Persona Fusion a bit later on, so right now we only get one card.
Yeah.
Well then, here we are.
I don't think the writing is bad in this game. I actually think the story is very interesting so far. I just think it needs an editor. The Countess comes to a halt. We have arrived before a panel in the wall, 3 by 4 times my height. It is crafted of smooth wood in all the colors of rippling honey.
All of them.
All of the color in rippling honey, not normal honey, not just honey, it's crafted of smooth honey-colored wood. It's crafted in all the colors of rippling honey.
I was watching an anime the other day where there's a drama within the show that they're really obsessed about, where the guy's called the Rainbow Samurai, and at the end of one of the shows he turns to a guy and he's like, "Name me a color of the rainbow." And the guy's like, red. And he's like, "No, a rainbow color is a rainbow." And I'm just like, no, that's not how colors work.
Carved with dizzying intricacy is a great tree in the height of maturity. Its winding roots coil around each other and into the floor. Its leaves and fruit are inlaid with jewels, precious stones, and mother of pearl. The panel glitters and glows from every angle. I'm dazzled by its beauty and barely notice that Portia is lagging behind us. I become aware of her presence when she comes to stand beside me. Nervousness is radiating from her in jittery waves. You could just say, nervousness is radiating from her. She jitters nervously.
Waves of jitter.
She's nervous.
Portia, if you would be so kind. Of course.
Portia retrieves a ring of keys from her pocket. There are about a dozen, each carved with the same wood as the panel, and each bearing a distinct jewel. One by one, she finds their locks in the panel, though I wonder how. Their locations seem completely random. With each key, the roots of the tree start to unwind from each other, pulling free from the floor. When all the locks have been turned, the panel folds upon itself on either side like a paper fan. When each key has been turned, the panel folds up like a paper fan. The room beyond is revealed, and my breath catches in my chest. I suck in a breath, tasting greenery and golden pages. There are books everywhere, books winding up the walls, reaching for the ceiling. A library. Asper has told me about places like this. I've always wanted to see one for myself.
Do you read, Elliot?
I nod. The Countess tempers her surprise.
Ah, somehow I suspected that you might.
I follow her further into the room, and the door closes behind itself with a rhythmic, mechanical sound. Portia trails at our heels, fidgeting with the ring of keys.
It is a great gift to read. Where I come from, it is shared amongst all citizens, regardless of birth. But woefully uncommon here. I suppose you were taught by a relative? Or your master, perhaps? Am I wrong? They say the two of you are very close. Milady is in a teasing mood this morning. Indeed. Ah, my headache is lifting. This way, if you please.
There are books of all kinds, tall, crisp volumes on mathematics beside broad leather atlases of faraway lands. I had no idea so many books existed, each one with years, maybe lifetimes of wisdoms to share. My fingers itch to run along their spines, but I resist. Books like these are worth more than anything I could afford to barter.
You know, Elliot, you are my guest. If you should like to return here, you need only ask. But for the moment...
The Countess stops before an alcove nestled between the shelves. Now that's what an alcove is. It's Sorry. I would have your...
I would have your undivided attention here.
Intrigued, I peer around the bookcase. Below, a tiny window cast into its slim ray of daylight is a desk. It's stacked with books, journals, and papers, scrolls tucked into its nooks and drawers. Despite the clutter, everything is carefully organized, someone's place of study preserved in time.
Elliot, do you know why Dr. Dvorak came to the palace? I suppose you would. After all, your master was here for the same purpose. To be a doctor, I suppose, of some kind. Oh, no, yes, to concoct a cure for the disease. No, that seems like something a doctor does show up for, but not necessarily a tarot reading man. Unless, I guess there's more, I suppose he was called a witch. I suppose that actually does make sense.
My blood runs cold. As she asked, I give the Countess my full attention. The disease, the Red Plague as it was called, swept through the city like wildfire. It claimed young and old, frail and strong. There was no way to tell who would be the next to fall. Cases are rare now. I can't remember the last time I saw the telltale red in the white of someone's eyes.
Oh, so there's a reason they call it the Red Plague. Okay. As you know, the Count and I called upon the city to whomever might be of use in this quest. Physicians, scientists, alchemists, witches, yes, even fortune-tellers. All were invited to the palace in hopes that our resources may aid in their research. Whosoever was able to find a cure, the city and the palace both would be forever in their debt. Perhaps he was plotting even then, but the doctor accepted our invitation. As did your master Astra.
Her gaze shifts to the window. A strange shadow crosses her lovely sunlit face. Curious, I lean in such a way to get a better view of the window. Odd. It's exactly in the right spot to see the willow tree which hangs over the fountain in the garden below.
Oh, right, that's why he wears the mask. He's a doctor. I forgot Dr. Mask things were a thing. While they toiled away in search of a cure, the palace provided everything they might need.
The Countess rests her hand atop one of the many texts gathering dusts.
This desk belonged to the good doctor. I have had its contents examined laboriously. Nothing of consequence has been found. But with such a volume of evidence, something may yet be hiding here. Something I may have overlooked. Perhaps you will have better luck than I in finding it.
Her touch lingers on the cover of a well-worn tome.
Well then, good luck, Elliot.
She draws away, passing me and perfuming the air with jasmine. Portia follows, and once they've passed the threshold, the panels fold over and into their original shape. They already said that it closed. I am left in silence, alone with the doctor's desk. I can feel that this desk holds secrets, but where to start? At a glance, there's a stack of books, a leather-bound folio, and scrolls tucked away in a little row of drawers. People on Tumblr are really thirsty for this game.
If you haven't looked up, Tumblr is where a lot of
that's where thirst goes to be. That's where thirst lives on the internet.
A lot of the walkthroughs for dating games, especially mobile dating games, are on Tumblr.
Yeah.
I found all kinds of Tumblrs dedicated specifically to dating game.
If you have a thirst, Tumblr will quench it.
There is a place on Tumblr.
There's probably a whole community of people fighting about it on Tumblr.
Oh, probably.
Yeah. Bitching about negativity. Forming cliques.
Alright, so books, folio, or scrolls?
We're looking for some kind of evidence or something. I don't think... I'm not... So the problem I have with this game
I don't think the doctor did it at all.
Isn't in the writing so much it is in the mechanics, because none of them feel like they're important.
Yeah.
Or like your decision making has any weight to it. So when I look at this decision, I'm just like, I don't know, pick one.
Yeah.
Like,
alright, scrolls. I feel like,
because it's either going to let you pick all of them, or pick until you find the one that you need to raise the flag in order to continue the story.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like, oh, you only have time for one, and you only find out so much information, and then we move on.
I'm guessing that the beloved count was actually some sort of, like, evil, like, demon or something like that, and maybe Asra actually was the one who, like, in the guise of fighting evil. That's my plot prediction now. But I'm very interested in the story.
Yeah.
I unfurl one of the scrolls. The paper is soft, almost powdery to the touch. It is written in a hurried, fluid scrawl that is nearly impossible to read. At the bottom of the page, isolated from the dense swath of cursive, is a single letter. J. A signature? If it's signed at the bottom, my suspicions may be correct. The letter appears to be addressed at the top. I narrow my eyes at the scribble on the page, trying to make sense of them. Dear sister? Instead of seeing the words, I'm fairly sure of them. The letter is addressed to Dear Sister. A sister? Did he have one? As far as I knew, the doctor was a bachelor with no family to speak of.
I'm glad they added with no family to speak of, because it's like, the doctor was a bachelor. That has nothing to do with whether you have a sister or not.
My mouth twists, uncertain what to make of this new information. I jolt at the sudden ratcheting sound behind me, quickly rewinding the scroll and tucking it into my bag.
Elliot?
The back wall parts unfolding to reveal Portia.
I hope I didn't startle you. There's something going on out by the garden. The Countess is requesting your presence at once. Did you find anything interesting? Clues? I know we only left you here for like 2 minutes.
I shake my head. Nothing I found has given me anything relevant for the Countess. Portia slides up next to me, scanning the desk with a curious eye.
Well, it'll take a while to go through everything. You can try again later.
She surveys the desk, tidying everywhere I've touched and returning everything to its place.
I've got the keys, so you can find me the next time you want to have a look. But for now, let's go see what all that fuss is about.
Portia's pace is hurried, far from the spirited step I would normally expect, and she doesn't speak. The longer we walk in silence, the more anxious I become. The garden below is livelier in the day. A symphony of birdsong echoes from every direction. I spy the Countess looking out over the garden with her hands behind her back.
Forgive me for drawing you away, Elliot. I do not wish to obstruct your investigation that I just started you on. It just so happens that I was thinking about that fortune you gave me earlier.
She turns to face me. Her expression is mysteriously neutral.
Rumor would have it that I dislike fortune tellers, but that's not entirely true. I only dislike those that profit by saying whatever they want to say, or by telling their clients whatever they want to hear.
She fixes me with a look of gentle disappointment. My heart drops into my stomach.
I want desperately to believe that you are neither, Elliot. But if we are to succeed in our little venture, I must trust in your skill, and so I have devised a test. Well, more of a game, really. If you win, then we can move forward with our plan, and I need never doubt your worth again. And if you lose, you will be free to go, and I shall trouble you no further. So it'll be fine no matter how you do. Now then, let's summon some competitors. Portia, would you kindly call the prey? The prey? Oh, the outfits make sense now. Okay.
Portia goes to the edge of the balcony. She takes a long breath and unleashes a piercing whistle. I move to the balustrade, and the Countess follows at my shoulder, peering down into the garden. Gradually, 2 figures emerge from the shrubbery, shuffling with obvious reluctance. They are dressed head to toe in fanciful costume. One is a rabbit, the other a deer.
The game is to hide and hunt, Elliot. You will be the hunter.
Oh, you want me to use magic to find them?
These 2 will be your prey. You need not hesitate on their behalf. They have earned their place. You, down there,
The costume figures jerk to attention.
you may remove your masks for the moment.
With cautious, awkward movements, the rabbit and the deer unfasten the masks from their faces. I recognize them at once. The guards from the bridge, so this is their punishment. Milady, this is embarrassing.
You are embarrassing. Have you already forgotten how beastly you were to our guest? It is only fitting that you should be dressed as such.
The guards drop to a humble kneel, cautious of their costumes. Yes, milady. Content, the Countess turns to me, a sympathetic crease on her brow.
I do hope it does not trouble you to chase them. They were most unfriendly to you, were they not? By doing their jobs.
They were only trying to protect you. Below, the guards lower their gaze. One is quite red in the face. A flash of anger ignites in the Countess's luminous eyes. Oh.
I feel like maybe she murdered her husband. I don't know. I don't feel like the doctor did it. No, they were only satisfying their own rampant paranoia, not mine. Their lust for violence and intimidation is mortifying. I shall not excuse it.
If possible, the guards shrink even further. I can't help but to pity them. They were worried about you.
If they were, they might have consulted with me. Instead, they continued to act as they please. However, if it is so distasteful to you, I suppose I could devise another punishment.
No, milady! No need for that. We're honored to do this. The costumes are very well crafted.
Indeed. Fortunate that my husband had such enthusiasm for the arts. Mask yourselves, then. We shall continue as planned. If there are no further objections, I shall explain the purpose of our game. This morning at breakfast, I found myself considering the task before us. We seek to find one man in a city of thousands, a city where gossip moves more swiftly than we possibly could. Daunting, but not impossible. Fate has already drawn him back to town for us. But for what purpose, and for how long? Our window of opportunity may be quite slim. I came to the conclusion that we must not pursue him without knowing exactly where to look. Easier said than done, of course. The doctor's desk may very well hold the key, but how long before we find it? And then I thought, perhaps we might use what we have in another way. Perhaps we might use magic.
Her gaze rests upon me, gauging my reaction.
Is it not possible that something in the desk holds meaning to the doctor? Something dear to him, an attachment that might linger to this day? Even a single leaf of paper may possess a tether to his soul, so that a magician need only follow it. And if that is indeed possible, is your magic refined enough to do it?
I bite my lip. Given what I've found in the desk so far, it is very possible. But my magic has never been used for anything like that. I would be flying blind.
If you have never done such a thing before, worry not. You are about to just do that. Each of your prey will be trying to evade you, moving targets, as the doctor will be. They will hide wherever they so please. Your goal is to hunt one of them down. One of them to whom I have given a single leaf of paper. Your Emperor card. By the way, I stole one of your cards.
My heart stutters and my eyes go wide. The Countess returns my incredulous stare with a patient, shameless smile. She couldn't have. When did she? This morning at the reading. She took the card from the table to examine it, and never gave it back. This is no bluff. She's really given one of them my Emperor card. Not mine, but Asra's. I feel a hot flush of panic course through my veins. I may not yet understand, but his deck is uncommonly powerful. To lose one of the so-called major arcana? I was careless in the Countess's presence. I shouldn't make that mistake again.
Well then, do you understand the instructions? It is quite simple. Find the guard carrying your Emperor card before the day is out. So long as you can do this, I am confident you will be able to lead me to the doctor's door.
She lays a hand on my trembling shoulder and leans in to speak softly.
Trust your intuition, Elliot. I have trusted mine, and it led me to you.
The Countess glides to the balustrade, folding her arms over her chest.
You! Down there!
Yes, milady! What would you have us do?
Run! Run as if capture meant your swift and certain death.
The guards scramble to their feet, and in a flash they have bolted in opposite directions.
Oh my, I do hope they know I'm not serious about that. And Elliot, you may pursue them at my mark. I implore you not to disappoint me.
The sound of beating footfalls is growing further and further away. I swallow hard.
Now then, let the game begin.
Cursing my fate, I spring into action, dashing down the steps and into the garden. Ugh. My intuition would be that the Countess still possesses it. This woman is weird and I don't want to date her.
Yeah, absolutely
no, she's
not.
terrifying.
She's
everything I aspire to be in life. I mean, honestly. Like, possibly evil. Definitely, like, super stylish. In charge. Lovely and haute couture. I dash down the stairs into the garden. On the veranda above, the Countess is calling sweetly at my heels.
You have until dawn. Do take care in the night, Elliot. Good luck, Elliot!
Skidding on the gravel, I whip my head left and right. To the right, snapping branches, the more cumbersome rabbit guard. To the left, muffled footfalls beating the earth at a furious pace. The deer guard, who look particularly nervous.
I'm still not convinced any of these matter.
Yeah, I don't know. Deer or rabbit?
Probably deer. He was particularly nervous. So said the text.
I follow the deer guard. It doesn't take long for me to realize that I am far outclassed in speed. Even at a sprint, I can barely catch a glimpse of my target before they dart away from my line of sight. They are never too far ahead. The mounting frustration spurs me on as I press further into the garden. Passing through the folds of green canopy, my sight is useless. The fronds obscure all but an arm's length in front of me. Heart racing, my body guides itself under springy vines, over wide roots, and all the way to the far edge of the garden. There's a sheer wall of lemon stones stretching towards the afternoon sky. Oops. The perimeter wall. A dead end. Pulse thrilling, I burst forth from the bushes onto a soft, mossy path. Leaning against the walls are dusty tools, shears and old pails not meant for the public eye. A servant's path, narrow but clear. I can see a far ways down it, and the deer guard is nowhere in sight. They can't have gone far. I lag in my pace, taking deep, ragged breaths until I spot a break in the bushes. A marble archway I see as I grow nearer. Beyond it, a maze, surely the one I had wandered through last night. Its looming hedges are still and silent, but in the corner of my eye, down the servant's path, there's a door in the wall of stone, rusted, small, and unassuming. I hadn't spotted it before. My heart is still racing with the hunt, but I wander towards it away from the arch. The door is slightly ajar, and when I push it, it opens up without resistance. What lies beyond? My breath catches in my chest. A valley. Wind swells up through the hill grass, rushing past my ears. I could just leave. Rolling slopes of meadows, sweet-smelling fields under the high noon sun. The terrain would be rough, but I spot a few shepherd's trails. Is this the right path? My heart nearly stops when I hear a cacophony of screeching and whip my head towards the source. Beyond the archway, somewhere deep within the maze, a flock of tropical birds is rising in flight. Something must have disturbed them. It could be the guard, the one I'm supposed to be chasing. But I don't move, braced against the door and unsure of my own heart.
So Julia Mon says that this is one of the choices that actually matters. Going through the door leads to a dramatically different path.
Yeah, there's no saving.
I mean,
Supposedly this choice matters.
Supposedly, when you exit the game and come back, it'll just take you to where you were.
How can you not maze?
Are you not amazed by your choices? This door of opportunities set before you?
Oh, because of the mobile nature, I didn't dare go through the door myself. How much do you care about your boss and the stolen card? We should probably get the card back.
Yeah.
We can go through the maze some other time. I let the door shut with a rusty groan and turned back towards the maze. The screeching birds, still rising up and away, give me some idea of where to go, but not how to get there. Dashing from shadow to shadow after any sound or sign of movement, I spent hours in the maze. Haven't run like this in years, yet I feel that I am never far behind. Rather, I feel invigorated. The cool air rushing around my ankles guides me through endless twists and turns.
Like 420 maze it.
Look at this door is amazing. Says TXC2. The sun is high overhead, waning towards the horizon when I reach the fountain. My heart thrills at the sight of the guard, not the deer, but the rabbit, and they are not alone. The other edge of the perimeter from where I stand, the rabbit is backed against a pale tree. Creeping towards him with a rattling growl are the dogs, Mercedes and Melchior.
Wait, were we given their names before?
Absolutely not.
What? Why do we know them now? Hi, Toasted Arts, who's subscribed for 14 months in a row, saying hope the pursuit of kissing is going well.
No kisses yet. We are nowhere near a kiss.
We are not getting
Our boss told us he.
I mean, when we did that one sequence with the boss in like the flashback dream, whatever, I thought for a second we might.
Yeah.
I got excited, but I was like, oh no, we're clearly not.
The guard's eyes go wide, but they dare not move. The hounds go rigid. Mercedes starts bounding towards me with Melchior close behind. I take off like a shot. The dogs are after me once, barking furiously at my insolence.
Oh, they looked angry.
I can't outrun them. My best bet is to dive into the bushes, off the path, and into the untamed jungle. Heavy fronds whip my limbs as I charge through the wild greenery at breakneck pace. Panting, I chance a backwards glance. We lock eyes. The hounds release a hellish howl, and they're gaining on me.
There's no kissing until you finish the prologue. We're still in the prologue.
Oh, shit. With heart leaping, I charge forward towards an overgrown arch streaked with grime. At its apex are two marbled goats, their horns clashing in eternal combat. It gives off a strange energy. The dog's grin split wide around ragged pants of excitement. This way, definitely. No time to breathe, much less to think. I charge through the passage, under the arch, and the ground disappears out from under my feet, and the world is swallowed by darkness. Darkness moves around me, shadows soar past me, and though I don't move a muscle, whispers past me in the unseen current, but I don't have my wits about me to listen.
Whisper, whisper, whisper.
Suddenly I'm falling forward, catching myself just before I kiss the floor.
Oh man, we didn't even kiss the floor!
No, I know. We don't, no kisses in today's stream.
We don't even kiss the floor, Kathleen.
No, that took me a second. I was like, huh? Oh.
As my palms strike the chilly stone, they raise a cloud of fine dust that settles like silt. It's dark, but nothing like the emptiness I just experienced. I can make out the basics of my surroundings. A long hall, silent and still as a tomb. The floor and walls are frigid stone. The air smells of ash. The space is desolate, devoid of life, down to the smallest mote of dust hanging in the stagnant air. Where am I? It feels vaguely like I might be dreaming. My head is spinning and I hardly feel the chill in the air. I heft myself to my feet. Though my heart is hammering, I concentrate on summoning light to my palm. I manage a weak ball of light, just enough to navigate my surroundings. Dust shifts around my feet with every step. There is a door ahead. Partway open inside is a deeper darkness, thick energy swallowing the light.
Go into the room.
Yeah, might as well. We're here.
The magic in my palm shrinks to a fluttering glow when I step through the doorway into the gloom. Coming from the hall, it's strikingly warm inside. The thick air has a strong, peppery taste. The weak glow of my magic renders the furniture formless, filigreed silhouettes lining the walls. A heavily canopied bed stretches midway across the room. I pass an extravagant suit of armor and a marble writing desk with a white peacock feather pen, all blanketed in ash. The pale, powdery dust is laid over every corner of the room and all the way up the walls. In the dark, it looks like snow. There is a portrait on the wall twice my height. I approach it with single-minded focus, each footfall stirring the blanket of dust. My dim light stretches up the canvas, and I take in the image with straining eyes.
Oh, hey, human photo of him.
It's the Count!
I can see why he gets drawn like a goat.
It looks like Ryuji. Though I may be struggling to see, I have no doubt of the painting's subject. Count Lucio. He looks younger than I expected, or the portrait is old. Or perhaps the artist was catering to his vanity. The red of his coat is the cardinal hue I remember from the painting in the dining room. The golden arm, a marvel of alchemical art.
Oh, that's why the goat ghost was missing an arm. Pagan Pilgrim is subscribed for 2 months in a row.
The fur hanging from his haughty shoulders looks impossibly fine, and there he is
Conquering death. He sure did, didn't he? Now he's a ghost.
I catch myself
ghost.
reaching out to feel... as a hoarse whisper catches breathes fog into my ear.
Go on, touch it.
I feel nothing but ash sifting down the canvas as my fingers make contact. There's a snickering inside my head as a haze settles over my mind.
Nothing like the real thing. Seeing, unable to feel. Such sweet torture.
Warmth like an ember radiates at the back of my neck. The magic in my palm reacts, its glow stretching past my fingers and down my wrist. The hair on my forearm is standing on end. Suddenly, I'm certain I'm not dreaming. My first instinct is to get away from the portrait, scampering backwards until my heel catches on a high pile carpet. Something soft meets the back of my knees, and I fall through folds of dusty velvet into the massive bed. Great plumes of ash billow around me when my back hits the bed covers. I'm blinded, coughing. This is Count Lucio's bed. I'm laying right where he was murdered, incinerated. How did you fall through the garden to this? Within this...
He slept in the
Then this
basement.
fine ash in my eyes, my nose, my mouth, and all over me is what's left of me, or what's left of him. I stare up into the very deep shadows of his canopy and clasp a hand over my mouth, smothering a scream.
I will be very happy if we can kiss a ghost.
Violently, I wrestle myself from the bed, swiping the layer of ash from my face. I can taste it. I have to get out of here.
Aw, going so soon? You're no fun.
That voice, I thought it was coming from inside my head, or before I didn't question it. Now it echoes from every corner of the room and from within my mind, a strange, throaty laugh. Blinded by darkness and halfway collapsed on the floor, I call out into the roiling gloom. I know who you are. What do you want? Suddenly the temperature rises. The laughter takes a higher pitch and I feel heat sweeping past my ears, gathering behind me.
What do I want? Nothing. Nothing at all.
Do you just want to be free? A sweetly suffering groan. I freeze and have the sensation of something reaching for my back. Then it pulls away, the temperature drops a little, and my breath returns to me before I'd noticed it was gone. I dare not look, but I sense movement behind me towards the portrait.
Chains of gold, but no neck. Beautiful, beautiful furs, but no back. No perfect face to smother with kisses, so I want nothing.
A sound of 5 sharp tips dragging down the canvas, caressing, loving strokes. I slide my harried gaze to see what might be standing there. Nothing. There's no one there. I scramble to my feet and make a break for the door. My fear delights the voice, a reedy laugh that grows louder and louder. The air sucks and pulls at my limbs, drawing me back like a vicious current until I reach the door. I stumble out of the dark doorway only to slam into the opposite wall. The cold stone rattles me from my daze. Breaking into a run, I continue down the hall, searching out the vague darkness for any sign of a way out. All along the walls there are paintings, portraits, proud figures in regalia, though the light is too weak to make out their faces. I feel them watching as I force myself faster down the hall. My body is weakening. I take a glance behind me to see how far I've gotten, how far I have yet to run. When I turn back around, I see the end of the hall. I see a shadow moving across a wall, a monstrous shape cast by an unseen form. 2 whirling horns rise from the head, though it stands on 2 legs, it does not look human. Semi-science is cheered with 100 bits for now kiss! No kissing yet. It slides away down a corridor to the right. Before it moves out of sight, it turns to me. 2 eyes blaze from the shadow's face, brilliant points of red. And when they fall upon me, an arid heat blasts through my body. Then the shadow moves down the corridor, and I hear a throaty purr as if it was right behind me.
I have a surprise for you. Follow me. Following?
Yeah. As if led by the chin, I wander down the hallway towards the surprise waiting for me around the corner. At the end of the hall, there is a final portrait cast in half an inky shadow and half in weak light. Glittering rubies, plush leopard cape, and a marvelous golden arm. It's Count Lucio, as I realize they have all been. His thin lips are pulled taut over gleaming white teeth, and below his cocked brow there are ragged holes, eyes ripped from the canvas in feathery tatters.
Vanity can be such a hassle.
Bunny of Faith is cheered with 100 bits. The voice again. This time it comes from outside my head, down the corridor. I turn towards the spectral light. I see it only for a moment, only a silhouette stark against a wall of high windows frosted with smoke. In that moment I see claws, horns, and hooves like onyx. The white face of a goat with red eyes fixed gleefully on mine. As soon as I've seen it, it's gone. I hear clambering off to the side up a set of white marble steps. And while I stand immobilized in the pale window light, a newcomer tromps up the steps into the hall, letting loose a garbled yelp at the sight of me. My heart rate spikes. It's the rabbit guard. They are so badly startled by my appearance that they leap back against the wall, fists raised. The longer we blink at each other, the more I feel as though I'm waking from a dream. I thought I heard something, but where do you come from? I shift my gaze down the dark hallway, every hair raising to attention. I find myself hurrying over to the guard, who takes a moment to look closely at my face. What happened to you? Suddenly, acutely conscious of the ash powdered over my shoulders and legs, I grimace from the pit of my soul. I was in the garden, and suddenly I was here. I heard a voice, and I saw a shadow. I'm disoriented, but I know better than to share these things with the guard, or anyone until I better know my own mind. In the meantime, I need a bath. The guard nods, lowering their defensive stance and watching me with cautious wonder. Then you shall have one, but first, reaching into an unseen hip pocket, the rabbit guard produces a slim card and presents it to me. The Emperor card. As brief as our separation may have been, my heart aches with joy at its familiar face. The guard sighs and offers me a hesitant smile when I snatch the card from their fingers. You earned it. Not sure how, but you found me. The Countess will be over the moon. They peer warily down the hall, bristle with trepidation, and turn back to me. Let's get out of here. You're not the only one who wants to change. I nod absently, disoriented as I follow the guard away from the icy hall. Alright, it's 11:57, and our iPad is literally about to die. So, I'm gonna call this for a vote. Should we keep going next week, Heather?
I hope so.
I hope so, too.
I'm kind of enjoying it.
Alright, so it's exclamation point. Now kiss. Yes, keep playing the new thing. There we are. One vote for keep right. Oh, 2 votes for new game.
I mean, this game has goat ghosts.
It does.
And I'm assuming it's a bloodless ghost? He didn't look very bloody. He didn't look like a sack of blood ready to burst at us.
I still don't think this is a dating game. I want to know what happens if we had gone through the fucking door, because I wanted to.
I mean...
This game is worth everything if you can romance a ghost goat. I don't think we can.
Probably not.
More goats, says Goat Prince. Obviously. Well, it looks like there's more people than I thought who are like, me, on this game. Normally it's like, usually people are pretty in favor of keeping going. Although, I have shown that Jacob and I, like, when we were doing that really terrible game, but, like, we had to, like, take a week off after that. And I was like, and then Jacob was leaving, and then, like, I couldn't come in because of, like, Graham was going to be at PAX or something like that. So I was like, no, whatever, let's just do the stupid game and then finish this dumb route next week, even though everybody said the game sucked. And it was great. Sometimes bad games are hilarious.
It's true.
So, you know. But it looks like we're coming back next week.
Yep.
So Heather and I will be here next week. Heather will be doing more incredibly creepy ghost voice readings. It's so good.
God, I really enjoyed doing that. I was like, ooh, creepy time. I get to do a creepy voice.
Yeah, it's great. And stick around, because in an hour, the crapshoot is starting. So that's exciting.
Do you know what kind of... We're doing a filming one today, right?
We kind of have to.
Yes, okay. Well, we're at least filming something.
Yeah, we're going to film something. I don't know what we're going to film. I swiped right for more Ghost Heather. That sounds appropriate. All right, so we're going to take off. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for the subs and the bits. And if you're new here, we don't often play dating games, but when we do, creepy Ghost Heather's there. That's also a lie. But thank you, everybody, for our new subs and bits. And if you liked what you saw, give us a follow, which I think is, like, right up here.
There is a heart, and you can push it.
Yeah, we have 11 new followers today. Look at that. So we've got some follows out of the day, so thank you. And we really appreciate it. And yeah, so stay tuned in an hour if you're new here for something completely different. And if you're not new here and you know what to expect, it'll also be good.
Check out the info panels below, because there are a variety of shows, and chances are good one of them will pique your fancy, if not this one.
Yeah.
I hope this one, since you followed.
Yeah. All right. Bye, everybody. See you later.